Getting to there.
30.
Okay, live already.
We are live. Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Hello. Good
Hi, guys. I'm
morning.
Teacher Sam.
I'm Teacher Brandon. Okay, so right now, there's still 0 viewers.
Well, I got one right now. Who is this?
I got one
Hello.
already. Hello, morning.
Hello,
Okay.
good morning, whoever you are. Thank you for joining us so early in the morning. It's 8:30
Yes.
as usual. Hello, Emily. Hello, Fabian.
Hello,
Wow, so fast for
Emily.
two already.
Whoa, wow, awesome. Okay, so
Thank you for being early risers, guys.
Yes,
You guys are the
definitely.
champs. I tell you, you guys are the champ. Whoever that just
Yeah.
joined, please send us a message. Please send us a
Okay.
message. Let us know you guys are in. So at least we know we are not alone.
Yes. So guys, technically speaking, right, yesterday we do have 2 streams, okay, one via Facebook and then one via the YouTube, okay. So we are live now, all right. So for those that at Facebook, hello Emily, hello Fabian, okay, and then hello Lynette, okay, good morning,
Lynette.
okay. So did you all join yesterday's session? Okay. So what? I mean, like yesterday, do you still remember what subject that have we covered? Okay, and then what is still like inside
What's
your head?
fresh in your mind?
Yeah, still fresh in your mind. That's like this is like wow, free stuff. But it's so worth it. It's like the whole day. It's just worth it lah. Okay. So guys, okay, good morning. All right,
Hello,
English.
Fabian. English, thank you.
Thank you, Fabian. Okay, English. All right. So bring the London to you, right? Okay. Yeah.
Yep, bring the London
Okay.
to you.
Yes.
Enjoy. I just finished eating already.
Okay, it's okay. All right. Now, so guys, the time is 8:31 now. So yeah, Fabian, what are you eating? You see, I haven't eaten yet. My goodness.
Economics, you eating economics? Good like you, Fabian. I like you a lot. I like you
No
more.
lah, I think
Main course economics.
main course
opener.
economics. Then the side dish should be
Main.
biology and physics.
Yep. Then
Okay, now so we have 7 of you. Okay, so so besides Emily, Fabian, and Lynette, okay, who else? Okay,
yes.
yeah,
Whoever
else
that's there, please send us a message. Please send us a
send
message.
us a message. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Just say good morning or anything you guys like.
Yeah,
We just want to
we
feel
are
who
in
we
need
are.
of attention.
Yeah, in need of the energy. Hello, Nick.
Hong. Wow, you know, like this Hong, like reminds me of like where wedding days, like me like that. Okay. Okay. Hey, by the way, I'm talking about this right. Okay. So I show you my shirt. Okay. This is my shirt. Okay.
My shirt also there.
Again. Okay.
Tea.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. This is a couple tea. Okay. So
Yeah.
okay. This is actually this shirt, right, actually it's the the heng dai shirt, when I got married, right? Okay, so all the heng dais, they wear this shirt. So it is and then lah, okay, Teacher Sam is the head of the heng dais. Okay, so he also have this shirt. So actually we know each other, I think how many years ago already? Oh my god,
6-7 years old.
Seven
years. We know each other 7 years already.
Yeah, 7 years ago. So it's like 7 years ago. Okay, we first met at Cot 5. Okay, Cot 5. Where we have our BTS year 7 kids. Okay, in the building. So the first time when he walked in, I said, oh, okay, new teacher. Oh, hello. And then it's like I don't know why, like that moment when I saw him, right? It's like okay. It's like the a bit gay here, like I love at the first sight, Okay, so it's like when I thought I thought he's a Chinese, because when we talk, right, it's like, wow, can talk Chinese so well, okay. But then I look at the name, it's like, why is it so funny? It's like, oh, okay. Then I know already. So but the thing is that I never thought, I really never thought that I would have met okay, someone, okay, that it's so that is so like so sync, you know, that the energy just sync, okay, they synergize so well. So after that, we have been very very good friends to a point whereby we can say we are brothers from different mothers. Okay, so the thing is like the one thing that really hold us so strong, our passion towards the education. All right, so it's like when we talk about kids like that lah. Okay, we just go all out lah. All right, and then yeah, soulmates. Yeah, legit soulmates. Emily, you're right. So it's like, you know, because just Sam's birthday, I think was just few days ago, and then he shared with me like the Facebook celebrate our friend anniversary. You know, why I tell you, like the way the Facebook does the thing, right? It is like our couple life like that, you know. Okay, so it's just that 2 years ago, there is this one opportunity to just like just struck us, okay, like caught us like off, like a really really surprise one. So it is an opportunity to set up our own business, right? And so because of that, right, we embarked this journey together. Because guys, honestly speaking, we have been so long as an educator, but this is our first time. Hello, Hui Wen, morning. Okay, nice to see
Morning,
you here.
everyone.
Yeah. All right. Now, so we embark on this journey together, okay, as an entrepreneur, right? Because we never thought we will be a business owner one day, and then here we are, okay. We are Ace Night Classes, okay, education center endorsed by 3 international schools, i.e. the Serious Scholar Study Skills, okay. Some of you know it very well as PTS, okay, and then Sri Amas, and also Dwi Amas, okay. And then what is our forte? It's actually like guiding students, okay, to ace the IGCSE well, starting as young as year 7, which is 13 years old, all the way to year 11, okay. And then we have the very great proven teaching method, aka ACE method, okay, to improve a student learning curve by 200%. What do you mean by 200%? So let's take yesterday's the webinar for as an example. Okay, some of you might come in as a students with have like maybe have 50% mastery, or maybe like 40% of mastery. But yesterday's the webinar, even though you have spent your 6 hours, okay, and by the moment you see your improvement in each subject, right, it mounted up, it's 200% already, or even more than that. Right? Okay. So that's what I mean by improve the students' learning curve by 200%. Why is that so? It's because we do not just have a proven teaching method, but more like the teachers' enthusiasm. Okay. We can feel it very, very well from what we have heard from our first batch of students, Wendy. Okay. You know, teacher Mei Bing, okay, yesterday, right? You all have heard her like share about the physics, right? Although yesterday the line is not really good, okay, it sounds very robotic, but still, because of her dedication during the previous season, right, where she actually sent paper 6, you know, to her students, you know, so that's why the students are so grateful for her. Okay, so now I'm just telling you about teacher Mei Bing's the story. But the thing is, it's not just the teacher maybe, but all of our teachers, actually, we are professionally trained with more than 5 years of IGCSE syllabus experience, okay? So when we say experience, we are not just talking about the amount of time that we spent, but also we also have received training from the Cambridge, okay? Because Cambridge, they will send trainers to Malaysia, so they will guide all the teachers to look at the marking scheme, how to mark it. So that's why we have such an incredible results that more than 90 students scoring 5 credits and above in the IGCSE exams yearly. Okay, we talk about yearly, guys. Okay, so it's like 90% of students scoring 5 credits. This is under the condition whereby we do not stream the students. Okay, people. So you know, like in other schools, right, they will have like science stream, then art stream, you know, and then so that's why you go like you focus on these 2 different streams and they just go all the way, right? But for our centers, we are mandatory to study physics and chemistry. Okay, yeah. So and still we are able to score such a remarkable results, right? That shows that no matter whether you are good with science or you're not good with science to begin with, you will all reach the same destination, which is this one. Okay, yeah. So that's why we are able to achieve this really thanks to the teacher's effort. Okay, yeah, because when you have the tools, right, but the tools is not being utilized by the teachers. Okay, it's like a sword, a very nice and sharp
An
sword.
unsharpened sword.
Yeah. So it's like it's just there. Okay, but you have to find the best wielder to wield the sword to maximize the power out of it. Okay, so this center it's in such a setting that we have the best knight and the best sword. Yeah. Okay, so that's why we are able to achieve such remarkable result. The most important thing is thank you to all the students, okay, who like trust us and embark this journey together with us, because honestly we really believe that the bonds that we forge, okay, it's eternal, and then it's one of the purest thing in this world. Okay, it's the relationship between student and teachers. Like, it's like teachers, we are actually, we have, I mean, we have no bloodline in the connection, you see, but the amount of hearts and also the passion that we pour in, it's just boundless lah. Okay, yeah. So that is what makes us stay until now. Teacher Sam, you have been teaching for like 7 years already, right?
Yeah, this is my 8th year already.
Yeah, 8 years already, right?
This
Okay,
is my
I'm
eighth year
slightly
already.
older, like 10 years
Yeah.
already. Oh, okay, it's like 2 digit already. Okay, but
Unbelievable.
we still, sorry.
It's unbelievable. Time moves so fast,
Yes.
everything has been like moving on, but nothing has changed, because I believe for me, teaching is a calling. It's
Yeah.
not easy to accept this type of calling, but yeah, because you are tasked with the responsibility of guiding teenagers. For me,
Mm.
that's how I see it. That's why I always tell my kids, right? I only want to see your 2 years. Year 7, year 8. After that, I say bye bye to you. You guys are other teachers' problems already. It's not
But the thing.
anything. It's just sometimes, for me, right, I'm a very emotional person sometimes. So I try don't want to get too close, because that 2 years, right, I form a lot of bonds with a lot of them. So after the year 8, right, I usually just tell them, you guys are older already. So you guys should go and form other bonds, you see, other bonds with other teachers. I will still be here. I will never run away. I'll still be here for you guys. So when we see each other, let's just talk and have fun. But in terms of forging bonds and everything, right, you need to forge your bonds with your year 9, year 10, year 11 teachers. This is how I feel.
Yeah. But the thing is that honestly, this has been my, this, I mean, I have been doing my very best lah. Okay, so guys, for those that's online, right? Okay, please convince our dear teacher Sam, okay, to really take up upper secondary maths. I tell you, like seriously, I've been telling teacher Sam that can you just like learn how to teach upper secondary maths? So guys, do your best to convince teacher Sam, right, to really learn how to teach upper secondary maths, so that next time in future, okay, when it comes to sharing the IGCSE maths part, right, then you see his face. Ini macam right? Like that. So because because honestly speaking, like I myself, okay, I can teach year 7 chemistry all the way to year 11. Okay, yeah, it just that I realized that my how to say my forte is actually more on upper secondary, okay, the chemistry. So it is very how to say very unique experience to me lah. Okay, yesterday we had the street mass open day, right? I talked to the kids like 10 years old all the way to 15 years old. It's still fine, yeah. Okay, so that's why for us, right, our teachers, we are very fluent in going through any ages lah. Okay, so that is how we embark our journey together. And guys, honestly, if you ask me when is the time that I will stop like this journey, I cannot tell, because so long that there are students around, that is
That needs
where,
us.
yeah, they need us, then I'll be there. Okay, we will be there. It's not just
I
with the we. It's not just teacher Sam and I, but the whole team. The whole
the
team
whole
will be
team,
there. Yeah,
the
the
whole
whole team will be
team.
there. So that's why this is something that we are very proud to say, because when you see this group of teachers band together, right, it's all about it's really all about the students. Yeah, and then guys, it's not a you can't really find this kind of teachers out elsewhere one, because it's like fated, it's fated. It's I mean, words cannot describe like how appreciative of us having them in our team. Okay, and because of that, I'm going to run through what happened yesterday. Okay, so the
But
so
Bernard, before you continue, right? We need to remind them something. Because of the time limit in Facebook Live. So, right,
mm,
what will happen is this: we have two live streams later. Yeah, one is
oh
now
yes,
until 12 o'clock. Then the moment
yes,
we hit 12 o'clock during the break, we will straight away jump into our second part already, which is part two. Because if you see
yes,
our name, right, the first thing highlighted you see is part one, correct? So later
mm.
at 12 o'clock, we will let you all know again that everyone will leave and come back in for part two. All right, guys? Okay?
Yes, yes.
Because we want
Yeah, guys.
everyone
Yeah,
here first.
yesterday actually we have we forgot like the 8 hours limit ban. Okay. But the thing is, like, we are still very grateful, because even we broke off and then we come back at part two, right? You guys are still there. So thank you
Yeah.
so much for the support. It has been a long day. Okay. Today it's a
Thank you so
long
much.
day, yet a very fruitful day. Okay, because yesterday we have heard from four speakers, right? Okay, so first is teacher Kinsan. Okay, this is the agenda for today. So later you will see our legendary Papa Pat, Papa Patrick. Okay, and then followed by chemistry, math, and also the maths. Okay, so previously yesterday, okay, we have teacher Kinsan. All right. Shared with us about how to ace the English as a first language. Actually, to be honest, she also mentioned about how to do well in the second language. Okay, so her valuable sharing about how her favorite books, are something that we know. Okay, the second one will
Yep.
be our Lang Zai, okay, teacher Alex, our Lang Zai teacher Alex. Okay, so yesterday, right? I still remember when he first appeared, right? Wow, it's like a YouTuber, like DJ and then. Okay, but even with his very good looking face, yet he actually packed his content very very well. Okay, it's very well packed content, right? So I can still remember yesterday he mentioned about the elimination method for the MCQ. So when you use the elimination method, right, you just increase your chance to 50% of scoring a correct answer in each of the questions. Okay, and that is very powerful. All right. Now next, okay, our dear teacher Anita. Okay, so remember, have to use sharp pencils. So because when you sketch the drawing, only it's very obvious and clear. Okay, and guys, remember this. The person who mark your paper, they mark your digital copy, not the physical copy. Okay, so which is why teacher Anita really wants all the students here, in order to ace it, you must make sure your drawing is very clear. Therefore, use a sharp pencil. Okay, now then the next one, okay, will be teacher Mei Pei. Okay, yeah, draw big. Yeah, draw big. Okay, yeah. So teacher Mei Pei. Okay, now guys, teacher Mei Pei actually she shared the I think she shared the paper six, right? How to do the experiment and stuff like that. Okay, it was that yesterday. Teacher Mei Pei actually she purposely called me. She said that, teacher Brandon, I'm so sorry. Yesterday the line was very bad. But the thing is that, like, I told her she did very 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 well. Yeah. Okay. So it's because the students still can remember how robotic the sound it is. Okay, and despite of that, like, there's all the technical difficulties, right? She managed to present it very very well. Okay, so these are what our teachers are able to do. All right. So after physics, then we have our special guest speaker, which is teacher Erica. Okay. So guys, I'm going to challenge you now. What are the two methods she shared yesterday? Okay, yeah. So what are two methods that she's shared yesterday that able to help you to ace your IG? Okay, so there are two methods there. Okay, so it's like there's this Bruce Lee picture, and then also she also shared her stories okay, about how she hated study. It's like that, okay. But thankfully, I can see the response here. Emily, Carrie, Fabian, Wendy, thank you so much. It's the meme nomics, okay? The meme nomics. Remember that yesterday the ion list, okay? The meme nomics, okay? So yeah, use that, all right? And also the Haya method, okay? Yep. So it's like, you see, guys, our CK Erica is the founder of the A Studio, and yet what her calling, okay, is to make study a fun one, an interesting one, and you can just do it effortlessly and effectively. Okay, sounds very perfect, right? Okay, that's what she's aiming for. Okay, so actually, do you know that she used to be an English teacher, and she still can teach? Just so you know. Okay, yeah. Yesterday she talked about her mother. Right, her mother is actually Teacher Ann. Okay, the founder of the three schools. And then just so you know that actually Teacher Ann and her entire team, right, is very supportive of our of what we are doing. Okay, and then she really like thanked us for actually doing our best to the kids. Okay, so that's why we are, teachers and teacher, and we are in this kind of environment, so positive environment, that we want to like actually expand it as large and as much as we can. Okay, that's why we are here. Okay, yes, thank you, Fabian. Support.
Go as far. Okay.
Yeah,
Grow as big, go as far as you can.
yeah. Actually, how what does it mean by far, and what does it mean by far? Because we're now on internet already. See, it's like borderless. Woohoo! Okay, so that's why we are doing this. Okay, that's why we're doing this. Yeah. Okay. Now, so yesterday we also have this. Yes, the 5 top tips to ace the IGCSE ebook. Okay, so we have given out to 10 winners already. Okay, so some of the winners are here. Okay, so I believe you have like flipped through the books already, right? Okay, so
No, we haven't given them yet. We're only gonna give them after today, because we're one shot give to everyone.
So sorry, I thought you have read the books already, but never mind, because like what I said yesterday, we always keep the best, okay, for the last. Woo! Okay, so guys, this, okay, now just a quick preview. This lucky draw, these tips, right, guys? Seriously, you cannot find elsewhere. Okay, because it is, I would say, this book is the crystallization of our of our teaching journey, of our teaching experience. Okay, so when you have access to this book, right? Okay, follow through the tips, because guys, you see the title is 5 top tips, but what you do not know is the 5 top tips is for each subject. Okay, so do your maths, guys. Okay, tell me the answer. When you have 8 subjects in total, okay, and each subject have 5 top tips, how many tips you're receiving in this book? Okay, faster. Okay, right. Okay, write down the numbers. All right. Okay. So it's actually this. Hey, sorry. I mean, okay, yes, it's actually 40. It's actually 40. Okay.
I was also trying to find where is the right way to show that.
I don't know whether your side or that side. I'm like, okay.
Yours is the other side.
Alright.
It should be the other hand.
This
The other way.
the other way.
Okay. Yes, correct. No, the other way. Correct.
The other way.
40, you're
like
40, right?
Oh my goodness. That shows like, morning, right? My brain cannot function, because usually when you want to see whether a person is functioning, right, just ask her to switch the hands. If the person can switch very fast, that means the brain is awake already. Okay, so later, if let's say you're like, oh, okay, my attention is like drifting away, right? Okay, just change the hand, okay, so they can make you alert. Okay, free tips. Woohoo! Okay, so same thing. Yesterday we had our 10 winners. Today we also have a new 10 winners. All right, so please, okay, share with your friends. Okay, ask them to join in, whether YouTube, okay, or Facebook. Okay, but preferably go to Facebook first, register. Okay, because when you register in Facebook, when we accept your application to join the closed group, honestly, you will automatically entitled for 2 ebooks already. Okay, this one is the third one. Okay, it's like extra special one. Okay, so and then I don't think you want to miss it. All right, so please join the Facebook group first. Okay, yeah, and what also happened yesterday, oops, okay, what also happened yesterday is we have also like shared the pricing, okay, because like what teacher Sam said yesterday, actually the parents really asked us, like, can you help her child, okay, to prepare for IGCSE, because guys, lucky or not, IGCSE will still be going on physically. Okay, so that's why we cannot escape. Okay, because last year they have done this online assessment. It failed miserably. Okay, so that's why they will continue with the physical examinations. And we know how much online lessons can do us a favor. So that's why, despite of this, right, we still want to give our best to you. Okay, and trust me, even with the screen, right, okay, we are able to guide you to ace your IGCSE.
Teacher Brandon,
yes,
5 more minutes left, huh?
Yes. Okay. Sure. Okay. So that's why we have this light package deal. Usual price is 1,200, but today, okay, you can purchase this at 840 with the free bonuses worth of 1,280. All right. So it's a very good deal. And bundle 3, okay. So usual price 3,600, but today we only have you only need to pay 2,340 with the bonus worth of 1,280. Okay, bundle 5, usual 6,000 slash, okay, 3,600, okay, for today with the bonus content 1,280. Okay, and if let's say you have a one, if you pay it one off for the bundle 3 and also bundle 5, we have further discount. All right, so later we will share the details. Okay, so if you want to register, okay, you can always go to this Google form. All right, and then fill in the details, and then we will follow up from there. All right, now, so now we have 4 more minutes, right? Okay, so I'm gonna introduce our speaker for today. Okay, okay, before I introduce him, do you know who is the next speaker or not? The first speaker for today. Just now, actually, I dropped hints already. Right? It's like very subtle hint, like that. Okay, who is that? Pastor, the response. Okay, actually, okay, oops. Yes, Mr. Pat. Okay, yes, our handsome Pat. Wow, Nick, you're actually teacher Pat's fans. Okay, yeah. All right. So yes, he is our one and only teacher Patrick. Okay. So honestly, and now I call him Papa Pat already. Okay. Yeah. So he has 7 years of teaching experience. Okay, and then for him, right, it's like accounts is really not about, it's really not just about numbers. Okay, and then because you see, guys, look at his background. He's a full-time teacher and freelance accountant. So do you realize that our teachers, right, it's not just have very rich experience in teaching, but he himself is also accountant. Okay, so whatever you learn from him, right, it's actually it's actually the best. Okay, because he had the working experience as an accountant and also had a very good content delivery skills. All right. So with his teaching, then he'll be able to show you that the number are the least important factor to score A for this subject. And honestly, guys, later I do not know whether teacher Patrick would share the threshold or not. But if he does, then you'll be surprised that it's very easy to score A in accounting. Anyway, accounting starts what?
Speaking of which, here
Yes.
he is. Let me add him into the stream just for fun. Toing.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Here he is.
What's up? Morning, people. Hey, you simply just
morning.
asking me what if I should not wearing shirt? How?
That's why I was purposely doing this.
Hey, you're not wearing shirt, then you show your 6 packs, then the students will be like, like that. They see you as an idol, you know.
My banner, you mean? Okay, sure, my banner. Hi, morning, good morning, everyone. Hello.
Then you can tap the BTS already. Okay, yeah. jokes. Okay, yeah. So teacher Pat, I just want to ask, baby still sleeping?
No, what? Me is still sleeping? The baby is still sleeping?
Baby.
No, baby awake. Baby awake already.
Baby already, yeah. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Hey, what's your baby girl's name? You want to share?
Okay. Actually, at first not confirm one. Okay, but the thing is, my mom go and like tell a friend when the friends ask what's the name, so gave ready. Then after that, they send those gift right with her name imprinted on it. So it's like,
Oh,
yeah, no choice lah.
no.
Lah, we'll go with it lah. So her name
Oh,
is Stella May. Stella, and then Mae, Stella May.
Stella,
Haven't
Stella.
oh, nice.
So I haven't include my surname and all the Chinese name. I hope she don't hate me because like the name will be so
Super
long.
long with the name.
I know, right? But it's not my idea. It's like okay,
Never
so
mind.
what?
She got
Right
my
and my
initials. Thank you, Patrick.
nobody
I didn't know you
SMA.
respect me so much. Got SM there. Sam Manan. Yes.
Yeah,
Ain't that God?
you, wah,
Nobody
cannot
will take your
tahan
name.
tahan Yo,
Okay.
tahan oh.
It's 9 o'clock already. 9 o'clock already. 9 o'clock already. 9 o'clock already.
Okay, guys,
I'm going to remove myself.
we'll take our
Bye.
leave. Okay, bye.
Hello, everybody. Hello, morning people. Thank you so much for joining for this morning. All right. So yeah, first thing first, what you should do is give yourself a tap on the shoulder because why? It's Sunday and you guys actually wake up early in the morning for my class, right? So it's accounting class, right? Like I don't know because accounting is a elective subject, right? Not the main core one. Okay. So a lot of people is not really taking accounting, but I also do believe that there are a lot of people wanted to go into business line, yeah. So accounting and like econs, all these things is a must, lah. All right, if you want to do well in business program in the future. Okay, so yeah, it seems like teacher Sam, teacher Brandon have really introduced most of my stuff. Then what do I do now? Huh? I have a lot to introduce one now. How? Okay, anyway, let me share screen first. Okay, let me share screen first, yeah. Then I can start my presentation. Share screen. Share screen. Okay. All right. Everyone can see. Should be okay. Hey, morning. Hi, Wheeler is here. All right. Thanks, Wendy, saying that it's good. So good. Yeah. What do you miss, Wheeler? Not yet. I won't start yet. Okay. So I'm just going to introduce myself for me. Yeah, I just started. Okay. So first slide. First thing first. Okay. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for your exam? All right. It's like probably just not long ago, you guys just finished your exam in school, I believe. All right. It's either term exam or mid-year, right? Okay. So if you have like getting like, oh no, okay, my marks is not really good. Wait, is it this again? You mean to say other teacher use this or what? I don't know. So yeah. Okay, so yes, let's do a quick welcome. Okay, welcome everyone to the ACE Night Classes IGCSE Intensive Virtual Class Webinar for today. All right, so my time going to be for accounting, and after that there will be chemistry, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so I don't really need to introduce much with this since teacher Brandon and just Sham already tell everyone like, oh, how many years I do lah, what I do lah, all these things lah. I feel like okay, there's nothing much to do with it now. Okay, but all right, this slide, okay, so this slide it was created, okay, during the first webinar. Yes, if you didn't notice, actually, this is not the first time that we are doing this. All right, this is already our second webinar already. Okay, so yeah, I'm just reusing the slide so you guys don't mind. Okay, now so this slide was created March 2021. Okay, and of course that time I was just telling everyone is that yeah, I'm gonna be a daddy soon. Okay, so that time baby was like what 7 months in the stomach, in the womb. Okay, so right now it's June, right? It's really June. So if you do the maths, yeah, I'll be a papa pet already. All right, so just want to share you guys my happy moment. All right, so as you can see, The one on the left-hand side, it was a picture of me actually having the opening ceremony, right? Cutting through the court of my baby. So it's like, yeah, welcome, baby. Okay, let's go. Yeah, then after that, that's how my babies looks like. So that this is Stella May. Okay. Now speaking of the name, right? Speaking of the name is like Stella is one, but then the May, why the May, right? So because my wife and my mom wanted to call her May May. Yeah, she is a she. Okay, so wanted to call her May May. I don't know why. Okay, but yeah, all right. So we just go along with it. Okay, because the name that I wanted, right, has something to do with like very anime related. Then they don't like the idea. Like, okay, lor, yeah. The initial name I wanted to name her was Sylphie, right? Sylphie. So they sounded like, okay, they're not nice. I'm like, okay, lor, fine, lor. I said, Daddy cannot choose any name also, what to do? Never mind lah. I already contributed the very, very important name. Yeah, what name? My surname. All right, should we continue with my surname? Enough already lah, right? Name is there already. Settle liao. All right. At first, I thought the name was Larmer. What Larmer? No, Stella May. Okay. So yeah, this is Patricia. I know, right? It's going to be easy. It's like we just call Pat. Can you imagine like my wife and my mom just call Pat? Then both of us is like, yes. All right. Got anime name like yeah. But I mean not really because why is it anime? Because the word Sylph, all right? Sylph is actually wind spirit, okay, another word. So yeah, if you're not sure how to spell it, you can Google it. Yeah, not those like Hiyori, May, and Sakura. Okay, those not a chance at all. Okay, those even not a chance. All right, so congratulations to me. Yay, finally become a daddy. All right. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna do accounting. All right, so the code for accounting is IGCSE 0452. I believe when you register also you won't see other codes. There will be only one name, which is accounting, and the one code only. All right. So and someone is the first one. All right. So yeah, you guys have to decide whether you are taking or not. Okay. But I believe that after today and watching this, okay, and after I explain to you, you probably think that you are with more confidence to take this because I seriously think that this is gonna be quite an easy credit, okay, an easy credit to actually score, okay, yeah, and you need the minimum 5 credit, right, to go into college, yeah, okay, so you guys ready? All right, so let's look at today's agenda. So what I'm going to be doing today, all right, today I will be covering just number one, assessment overview. Technically, it's like, yeah, how many papers is there? All right, how many papers is there? So yeah, 2 papers and all. So I'll go through all these things. Then secondly, is I also look at the grade threshold. And then after that, I also want to tell you guys what are popular topic in paper 2. All right. And okay. So after that, we also have the activity for you guys. Yes, I have something for you guys to do, right? Rather than I'll be just talk and talk and talk, right? So I want you to do something, right? Something simple. And after that, of course, we will discuss one of the IGCSE past year paper, okay, related to the topics that I want to cover for today. Okay? Yay. So, okay, this is Sparta. Are you ready, people? All right, I hope you guys are ready because it's early in the morning. I breakfast also haven't makan yet. All right, straight away it's like, oh, double entry, sure. No lah, not double entry. Every time also double entry, man. Okay, double entry is something that is very, very basic. Such a long thing to teach that one. Okay. Yes, so let's look at the assessment overview. So for accounting, we have 2 papers, right? We have paper 1 and paper 2, and of course, there is no core or extended for this paper. You either take or you don't take. All right. So there are 2 papers. So let's look at paper number 1. All right. Paper 1, we this is examination from 2020. Yeah. So this is actually a new examination. So before that, they also have 2 papers, but the marks are different, and then the way the question asked is also different. All right. So let's just look at the latest one. Okay. This is the one that you guys will be sitting. All right. So this is from last year. So last year was the first year. Okay, they just changed. All right. So paper 1 is actually multiple choice question, MCQ. That's where you have all the A, B, C, D. Okay, and I'm not sure. I do believe this could be the only paper that has the most questions. So they have 35 marks, and that equivalents to 35 questions, right? So yeah, they will have 35 questions to answer in 1 hour and 15 minutes. All right. So if you look at the percentage, this paper will contribute 30%. All right. And if I'm not mistaken, some more this year for your October November series, right? Paper one is going to be later. That means paper two first, and then paper one. Right, so please don't look down on paper one, because paper one actually carry a lot of weightage to your exam also. Right, so if you guys want to score well, okay, you need to know how many questions you need to score. All right, so that will be paper one. Okay, now let's look at paper two. Right, paper two, 100 marks. All right, so the weightage is going to be 70%. All right, so 100 marks, and how many questions do we have? All right, this is going to be 5 questions. All right, so 5 questions for 100 marks, and they make it standardized, okay, consistent, whereby every question you will see each question is 20 marks. All right, so yeah, no more, no less. Every question. All right. Of course, when I say question, it's like 5 only. No lah. The 5 questions, then they have all the sub questions. And in that one question, they are all related. Okay. So it can be related or not related. So it depends on how they ask you. All right. So yeah, 20 marks in one question. Okay. So this is going to be our assessment. Okay. Your exam going to be like this. Okay. So knowing that, wow, paper two will come first and then 100 marks, right? So each question will carry 20%. All right. We have so many topics there. All right. So many topics. And they only ask like 5. All right. So for 5 questions, sometimes there will be certain topic, but just a small part, and then they put it together into that one questions and ask you guys. All right. So that means there could be also some topics, right, won't be tested at all. Right, at this point, because there are so many topics. So if they ask those big questions, like for example those statement questions, I can guarantee there's no way they will ask all the statements. Okay, because we have a few big ones, like we have sole trader, we have clubs and society, we have manufacturing, and then we have partnership and limited liability company. So we have 5 the so-called all these different organizations, and they have all the different financial statements. So there's no way you can ask all one. All right. And some more recently, all right, the most recent paper that I have on hands, which is the February-March edition. February-March, okay, none of that came up. As in, like, none of those partnership, club and society, manufacturing, limited company, all this didn't come at all. All right. So income statement, yes, income statement came up. Okay. So like twice some more. So that is February-March paper lah. For your paper, I won't know. Okay, when I have more, details, like for example, once I've gotten the May-June, all right, the recent May-June exam, all right, then I will roughly know. Not to say roughly know lah. Normally I would do forecast lah. It's like, so which one would they test the next round? Okay, but of course, I won't be 100% correct. Why? If I'm 100% correct, hang okay. If that is the case, everyone is like, oh, check back. You should all flood in already. It's like, if I'm 100% correct, okay, something very fishy is going on already. Okay, there's no way. All right, but I will prepare you guys to handle the paper. All right. So what I want to do next is the grade threshold. All right. So looking at the grade threshold, all right. So usually for Malaysia, we will be sitting for variant 3, which is component 3. So we have the first one, component 1 means paper 1 and then variant 1. Okay, so we will be having variant 3. Okay, so yeah, take a look at the variant 3 or even 1, 2, 3 lah. Okay, look at credit. Look at C. Okay, C is for your credit. So how many marks, how many questions you need to score in order to get? This is according to November 2020. Oh yeah, by the way. So first thing first, apparently, okay, last year across all the subjects, the threshold is quite low lah. Okay, across all, threshold is quite low. Okay, don't know what's the reason. Could be because of pandemic, because of the corona. Maybe overall everything dropped down and all lah. All right. But again, this is new. All right, you think about this. 2020 exam, right, is quite new though. all right? And then, I mean, I seen like they just changed the exam. So, the marks, because last year there's only February, March, one exam. May, June, tak lah. May, June don't have. Okay, why May, June don't have? Because the time just everyone going into lockdown, right? Everyone going into lockdown. So IGCSE did not hold the exam. So they were just doing some like a school assessment kind of thing. So there's no May, June exam, right? But they have the papers lah. Just that there's no exam. That's why there's no threshold. Okay. Then after that, October, November, yes, they have the exam again. So that's what you can see now. All right, that's what you can see now. So, and then I also check the February marks. The marks that they give, right, and then the requirement to score credit BA is roughly the same. Okay, it's roughly the same. So I will wait until May, June and see whether the threshold is roughly the same. Okay, then in class I will be able to reconfirm with you guys. Okay, whether how many marks you actually need. Okay, but of course, if you are worried, okay, of course you aim to score more, right? You don't settle for the least, like 16. Wow, okay, you just need 16 questions. That is less than half, right? 35 questions, 16 only. Okay, can get C, all right, for paper 1. So come on, you don't tell me it's like, yeah, these questions, I know how to do, all right, but I want to settle for credit only. Okay, I don't want to aim so much. You know what? Skip lah, no need to do. Right, just leave it empty. Wow, no one does that, right? Of course, okay, no one does that. So it's like they will just do what you can. Okay, you give your best, right? You don't settle for the least. Okay, so that's for paper 1. Okay, if some of you still feel that paper 1 is quite hard to get, okay, that is one of the reasons because the accounting language, right? Paper 1 tests a lot on the language. They focus on whether do you understand, because they have to play with words, right? As you know, IG English, right? They will use different words. Actually, they all say meaning one, but then they purposely like to use those like somehow words that you have not seen before. They twist the sentence, like you don't know what they're talking about, right? They purposely do that, yeah, to make it harder. Because if not, then it's too easy. All right. So if you want to be good at paper 1, okay, you have to improve your language first, right? That's why language is important, and especially accounting language. And I said accounting language means all the terms. Do you understand what they're saying or not? Like a lot of people still don't know what do they mean by debit and credit on. All right, so you need to know all these terms, right? If you don't know, I'm like, come join my class, I'll teach you. Okay, so yeah, let's look at the next one. So the next one will be paper 2. Wow, look at paper 2. What the heck? Okay, look at C. 16 only, right? When I show this to my student in my class, right, they're like, what, just 16 only? Like, why so low one? Yeah, 16 and then over 100, one question, 20 marks. That means what? If you can do one question perfectly, you pass already. You can get credit already. I think so. Right? Yeah, I think so, right? In this way. But like I said, you won't settle for the least, right? Yeah, so of course you try to aim B and A and of course A star also. All right. So overall, the marks are more or less around here. Okay. So do your best, score as much as you can. All right. So let's look at the combination. So in the end, what will happen is, so 2 papers all combined together, and it will be going to be over 143. Remember, just now there's a weightage, right? So that you have to do the conversion, and then it becomes weightage. It's over 143. Okay. So the 92 over 143, that will equal to A star already. Right. So this is their calculation. Right. But of course, in IG result, what you get is, in the end, they'll tell you the percentile, right? How many percent of your marks, okay, that you get, and then that determine your grades, whether it's A star or B or C. Okay, so all I need to do is all I need to tell you guys is like, yes, okay, I hope you have more confidence now, that because since the threshold is quite low, all right, getting a credit, it is super possible. All right, so scoring A and A star, all right, it's not too far from your goal. So okay, you just have to work much harder, right? Give more of this. Okay. Yeah, hey, Shalin. It's nice to meet you. Hi, Shalin. Language is important. P1 in accounting. Yes. All right. So that is about threshold. Okay. So if there's any question and all, just leave your comment. I will read through and then I'll come back to you. All right. $10 skill. Yes. Okay. By the way, if you are going to use your $10 skill, going to use your luck, right? You know what? I hope that in your coming exam, your trials exam, all these coming school exam, don't tembak so much first. Later, if you tembak and suddenly you kena not good. You know why? Later you use up your luck. How? Alright, have to understand. No, luck is not a limit, not an unlimited kind of thingy. Okay, unless you know somebody is like that lah, then you introduce to me. Okay, probably ask him to give me some 4 digit. All right. Yeah, if you use up your luck later in your normal trials, you tembak, I tembak 10. Wow, 10 all correct. GG. Later it's not, if I were you, I'll be worried. What if later in IG, tembak cannot kena? Okay. Anyway, in IG, you won't even know lah. You won't even know actually whether the question that you answered is correct or not. Okay. So let us move on to the next part. All right. So the next part will be what I want to show you guys is, and yes, so get ready your phone, or if you can print screen also can, because I want to give you this one, all right, which is the subject, all right, the topic that came out on this during this examination, all right. So SP it was the specimen paper, okay. Then we have the last year paper, which is February, March, May, June, okay. May, June we have 2 variants, all right. So usually we have 3 variants, and 2 of them will be the same lah. All right. So in my what do you call it? In my folders, okay, I've checked. Technically, version 1, version 2 and 3, okay, it's the same. So that's why I'm leaving variant 1 and 3 here lah. Okay, same question, and then this is the different paper, right? Different question, the different variant. All right. So May, June have 2, and then October, November we have 2, and I added the latest one, okay, which is the February, March 2021 this year. Okay, so this is for this year. Okay, so user again, user is saying that actually so easy to score it. I mean, technically marks is low, but can score or not, that's a different thing, because I've marked enough papers that some people just totally don't know what they're doing. All right, totally don't know the format, leave the whole thing blank. All right, so how to do like that? If everything blank, how to score? Yes, I know it's low, okay, but still, okay, if you don't know what they're talking about, all right, some people still find it very hard to actually score for accounts. Okay, so which is today, I hope that I can share some of the important things with you guys, and you can go back home and get some of this knowledge, okay, and you'll actually be more confident about scoring on this paper. All right. So this will be for the these topics, all right? I mean, there's one more slide for the next topics, all right? So what you can do is you can take a picture first, okay, so that you know, oh, so this topic actually came up. This topic actually came up. So on the first, my first slide here, okay. So the one that often came up, a cash book, okay, only 3 times, okay, which is actually specimen paper. It's not even an exam, right? It's just an example paper. So only came up twice recently. It came up. So like I said, I need the major paper that I can see. All right. The popular chapter got pattern one. You see for yourself, lor. Okay, you see for yourself whether got pattern or not. All right. So by doing this, then you can see, oh, wow, this has been tested. This has been tested. So what do you think? All right. So have you guys taken a picture? If not, later let me know. Okay, I'll come back to this slide again. You can take a picture again. All right. So let's look at the second slide. So the second slide will be for these topics. All right. Okay. So the second slide will be more on the year 11 topics. Okay, starting from accruals and prepayment all the way until the last one, which is analysis and interpretation. Okay. So from here, as you can see, wow, there was 2 topics particularly very colorful. Why? Because every single paper also have. Okay, so far what I've noticed, okay, is still the same for February, March. So I want to see May, June. Okay, I definitely want to wait. I want to wait until May, June papers are available to download from the IGCSE Center. All right, so then I will be able to tell whether yes, do they have so-called these topics, okay, tested or not. If yes, that means my theory will be correct. Okay, that means the popular topic every time also will come up one. Every time also will ask one. All right, that will be journal entries and correction of error. Okay, so yeah, so Wheeler, after watching this one, what do you think? Do you think is there a pattern or not? Right. Okay, so if you have been seeing them coming up every single time, so Yeah, right? Will you take the chance like, oh, I don't want to do this, okay, because I'm not really good at correction of errors. Yeah, I can tell you guys, correction of error is a big topic, okay? It's not easy, okay, because you really need to have a very good basic understanding of your double entry, okay? Double entry system, what account to DR, what account to CR, and then the T account, all these things, that will be your most basic things and also the most important one if you want to do correction of errors, all right? So yeah, okay, a lot of people are still not very good with double entry. That's why they suffer in this topic, the errors part. But then, come on, guys, every single time also coming up, oh, right? So aren't you going to improve yourself? And then it's like challenge the question. It's like, yes, I want to learn this. I want to know how to do this. Yeah, because technically, if you know how to do this, all right, this topic itself, and some more the ratio, because there's also every time coming up, wow, you have two questions settled already. You have two questions. That means there what? Okay, let's say two questions equivalent to 40 marks, correct? 40 marks. So let's say if you don't get 40 over 40, that's fine. But from two questions there, maybe you can really score about 20, right? About 20 or 20 something. Hello, 20 marks. Get credit already, no? Correct or not? 20 marks, you get credit already. If you are, of course, provided your paper one must also score lah, okay? So yeah. Yeah, I have to like tell you guys, okay, all these popular topics, if you know how to do them, okay, credit is not a problem. All right. So the next thing is like, yeah, what you guys want to aim? Whether you aim to get B or to get A or A star. All right. Okay. So yes, faster take a picture or screenshot this one. All right, for your own reference. Okay. So whether got not other patterns or not, this is what I noticed lah. Okay. I hope I answers everyone's questions. Okay. So yeah, PFDD not even once. Yes. I think PFDD came out in May, June, right? According to my student who set for May, June this year, right? So she also taken this IGCSE intensive webinar. All right. So I asked her and she said she remember, I think PFDD was out. So maybe finally, there's one question on PFDD. So yeah, are they really popular? Not so, but doesn't mean it won't come up, right? So in the end, probably you still have to study all right, but focus more on your time on the thing that you know definitely will come up. Correct? Okay. So yeah, let's look at the next thing, which is the next slide, popular topics. So popular topics, as you all can see, okay, we have a question, 5 questions, paper 2. Okay, I'm only doing paper 2, all right, for today. If you guys want to know what is popular for paper 1 and all these things, actually I did cover that on my first webinar. So if you miss out that one, another round that is come and join my class. I can tell you. All right. So we have journal and correction of errors. Okay. Yeah. So yes, I use this meme the last round. All right. It's so frustrated, right? If any one of you guys actually did statements and then suddenly notice that, hi, yeah, not balanced one. What the heck? What a disappointment. Okay. So that will be the first one. And the second one is analysis and interpretation, which is actually ratio. So that's where you have to do all this calculation. All right. And there's one more things for you guys to know. Okay. Which if you know this and if you can do this also, I would say what Uncle Roger said, all right, guarantee credit lah. Okay. It's guarantee on hand already, but must able to do lah. Okay. The advice question. What do I mean by advice question? Later on, I will show you guys in the past year paper. Okay, technically, it's a question that they give you a scenario, tell you, okay, do this. Okay, they're thinking whether to do this or do that. Okay, then after that, you technically have to actually give 2 advantages, 2 disadvantages, and then you have to recommend, okay, whether what to do. All right. So yeah, every question is 5 marks and guarantee got 3 questions out. Okay, so around 15 marks in total, could be 14. All right, usually it's around 15. So 3 questions, each question is 5 marks. So how the marks are given? So like I say, 2 advantages, 2 disadvantages, and 1 recommendation, right? So 2, 2, 1, 5 marks level. All right. So later on, okay, I will also teach you guys how to actually do the recommendation part, because the recommendation is 3 marks. 3 marks. All right. So guys, 15 marks from advice question. That means what? That means that will be like what? 15% of your paper 2, because it's 100 marks, right? So 15 over 100, that's like 15% for your paper 2 itself, you know. All right. And then some more knowing that journal and errors will come out. Ratio will also come out. That means if you know these three, right, right, and you can do all these three parts, yeah, C is like I said, it's already there. It's there already. The moment you sign up, pay for accounting, sit for the exam, right? Okay, you get C already. But then, of course, you must know how to do these three topics, right? You must have the skill to do these three. All right. So the rest is up to you. Okay. So ratio in maths is different. So they are different. Yeah, of course. All right. But the fundamental of maths is not very hard. So what do you think? Which topic I will be covering today? All right. So they are different. Okay. So which topic do you think I'll be covering today? So let us look at this meme. So I have a meme for you guys. So from this meme, can you tell, all right, what am I doing today? Oh, yeah, let me just drink some water, okay? And then leave it in the comment section to tell me that which one I'll do. Because a lot of people ask me, it's like, Share, what are you doing? Share, what are you doing? Wow, Fabian, not bad. You actually remember the chapters number also. Yeah. Okay. But the chapter number, it depends because depending which books you are using. Some of people are learning using a different textbook. So the topic sequencing might be different and all. All right. Yes. Okay. I'll be teaching ratio. Yes, Ihan, you are correct. Hey, Ihan, you are here. I thought you're still sleeping. Okay, after watching all the Euro yesterday. All right. That's why I was telling everyone, okay, especially for boys, okay, or even girls, if you guys are watching Euro, and that will be midnight, and you guys actually can wake up for early morning class, okay, give yourself a tap on the shoulder. Well done. Okay. Cannot see entirely cause the message pin on screen. How to remove this? I no sleep. Oh my god. I watched Euro last night. Okay, next thing that cannot. So can we remove the message there? Oh, I think it will disappear in a short while, maybe. All right. Okay. Let's wait. Let's wait. Maybe I should go up to the previous slide. They are different. Okay. Let me see if I can. Oh yeah. Okay. Now can it be? Okay. The message is no longer there. Why that message appear on the screen? Oh yeah, because they want to alert me about so the thing that you say, okay, the comment that you leave. So I want to come and address the comment. Okay, so you've seen this meme before, all right? Okay, guys, so I will be covering ratio today. Okay, will I be doing a lot of teachings and all? Well, I have an activity for you guys. So after the activity, I'll tell you, okay, whether am I teaching or not. All right. So are you guys ready? Okay. So here's the activity. Hey. All right. So the activity is technically is like, yeah, which one is better? Okay. So which one is better? Now I'm pretty sure that you guys seen these two logo, all right, and very familiar with these two companies. Am I right? Okay, Villa asking like, learn already or not? No, not yet, Villa. Okay, we haven't learned this. Not yet. All right, this is the last topic. Okay, the last topic. So which I believe that none of the school will be at this pace lah. So fast, right? Okay, now it's only June. No, June really teaching the last topic. All right, so yeah, I'll be doing it here today. All right, because it's early morning and I want to do some maths. Right? Okay, so guys, here's the activity. Okay, so yeah, this is the annual report for both Nike and Adidas. All right. Of course, this is just one slide. There's another one. So I want you guys to quickly take a picture of this. Okay, take all the information here because I will need you guys to do some calculation. Okay, so because yeah, all you see now is a bunch of numbers, correct? Not like how much they gain on sales, how much their expenses, how much the profit and all. But is that really the only way for us to see? Just seeing the numbers, you know which one is doing better? Because yeah, does that mean all the numbers, the higher the better, or is it lower the better? Which one? You won't know, right? Okay, so of course I will be showing you guys some tips. Okay, what you should do. Okay, on this one. All right, yeah. So please take a picture. Okay, please take a picture. So if you pin the message there, then after that, you pin the message there, then again is cannot see all these things. So please take a picture now. All right, who got the correct answer? Okay, I mean, I haven't asked the question yet. I haven't asked what to calculate yet. So you take the picture now, you take the information first. Anyway, if whoever miss out later on, let me know. I can always come back to this slide. Okay. If you have your phone ready, so I should give you like what, 10 seconds to do this. Is it okay? Right? Can always come back to this, don't worry. So let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sorry, I know my timing a bit faster. Okay, this is my own teacher perfect timing. Okay, always need to rush you guys a bit, because if you take the own sweet time, right? So later on, not enough time to do the paper. It's jialat. You know how to do, but then not enough time. What a waste. All right. So let's look at the second part. Okay, so please take a picture also. Okay, so this is the second part. Okay, the second part will consist of the all these numbers for total assets. Okay, NC as your non-current asset, CA is your current asset. Then we have the inventory. Yes, the inventory part is also important for our calculation later. Okay, and total liabilities, non-current liabilities, current liabilities, and equities. Right, equities is technically your number like owner's equities, right, which is the capital lah. Right, so take all these numbers first with you. Okay, then later on, if I need to do some calculation, let you guys wake up a bit, wiki. Okay, hey, Jishan is here, Asadi. I still at accounts, clerk and society. Yes, Fabian, even my class also. All right, yeah, around there lah. Okay, after take a picture, you have 10 seconds again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go. Okay, yes, please get ready your phone and all this thing, because I have 2 more things to give you guys. All right, so I hope you all have all these numbers ready with you. Okay, ready? So yeah, the next thing. It's not moving faster. I got trials exam on January. What? Hey, all right. So please take this also. Now, technically, what I'm showing you guys is how I will normally conduct my classes, okay, during this intensive. So when you come to my class, all right, and if you are doing that topic, I will give you guys the notes, all right? So you don't need to do any notes, all right? I'll give you the notes, and then I will teach from there. I will teach first. Then after that, we will do more questions on the IG. Okay, we'll tackle all the questions from IGCSE, or if you have any other question from school, I don't know, you can always share, and then we can discuss with the class, all right? So yes, please take this one, all right? This is the notes for the topic number 22, which is called analysis and interpretation, which is the ratio topics, all right? So what is analysis, all right? Analysis is technically we are going to, right, analyze all the numbers, okay? Detailed examination, so going to numbers and all. And after that, what is interpret? Interpret, technically, after we calculate all these numbers, what do? We compare, okay? Normally also we'll compare. So like just now the activity is asking you guys whether is it Adidas better or Nike is better, right? Okay. So yeah, we have to compare. I mean, comparing is not always just by different company, but they can also be done internally. Internally means what? They compare this year and their previous year also. Okay, this year, previous year, or the previous years. So which year they're actually doing better? Are they improving or not? Or are they getting worse? Okay. So all these are super important for a business owner to know. It's not just business owner, as an investor also. All right. So even today, all right, for you guys who are here, if you don't take account, that's totally fine. Okay. But okay, hear me out. You should really learn about this topic, because yes, you might not be taking accounting, but will you be guaranteed that you won't do any investment in the future? All right. If you want to do investment in the future, okay, you need to do your homework. When I say homework, is like, when I saying investment, is like whether maybe you are putting your money, you want to invest in a business. Okay, let's say you have no time to do it, okay, but you have a lot of money put aside. So you want to invest in the business. So how do you know which business? There are so many businesses out there. Okay, your money is not unlimited. I believe so. Correct or not? Okay, so you have limited resources. Okay, and we have so many choices. So which one do we choose? So this is where you should do your homework at least, right? To know whether are they performing well, is the business doing well, all right? Are they going to give you the returns that you want? Because if you invest, you want it to be returned, right? You don't want you put the money and then suddenly, gone now, no more already, okay? So yeah, so please take a picture of these things because a lot of things here are self-explanatory. So what I need you guys to do is later actually to see whether you guys know how to read formula or not. Okay, because if I'm going to cover everything here, okay, not enough time. Okay, 10:30 very fast. Okay, then I won't have time to actually do the what do you call that? The IGCSE past year questions. Okay, but of course I will still go through a bit of things here. Okay, with you guys. So as you can see, the first one is working capital. Am I right? So working capital, I do believe that you guys already learned, you know the formula for working capital. This is nothing new. All right. At this point, for those who are taking accounts, you will know what working capital is. All right. And working capital, technically, it means the amount of money that they have to run the business. Okay. So the new thing will start from the blue one, which is the capital employed. All right. So capital employed is the total funds, okay, the total money used by the business, all right, for this year, okay, for that particular year. So how to calculate? So there are two ways to calculate for capital employed, all right. So in my formula, I give you guys total asset minus minus current liability, okay. Or what you can use is you can use the equity, right, owner's equity plus non-current liability. So that is also a way to find capital employed, to find the total fund, all right. For those who are referring to actually another reference book or maybe your textbook, okay, the actual formula given, okay, it wasn't, okay, the second one is still the same. The first one, the one that I put is total asset minus current liability, right? So the actual one that was given in the paper, it wasn't this, all right? Let me, how do I edit copy slide and show? Oh, you don't let me to write. Oopsie. Yeah. Oh yeah, hold on, technical issue. Right up first. Yeah, here. Okay. Can't really write this. Oops. Okay. So the what do you call it? The formula. Okay, the formula that was given in the books, it was actually okay, listen up, because since I can't really write now, I don't know why. Okay. So I can't really change. Maybe I need to do, because this is reading view. Yeah, this is reading view because I cannot put annotation. All right. So just hear me out lah. All right. The formula for actually given for capital employed in the books is actually non-current asset plus working capital. Okay, NCA plus working capital. So that is the formula given to calculate capital employed, and together with the equity plus non-current liability. So these two formula you need to know. Okay, because sometimes the information given, so you need to see which one is applicable. Okay, you have to use whichever one. Okay, so NCA plus working capital. In other words, actually NCA, okay, is NCA. Working capital is current asset minus current liability, correct or not? Okay, as you can see on top there, okay, so this part, okay, the first part, current asset minus current liability. So if you put NCA in front now, that means the whole, if you expand the working capital, that means now NCA plus CA minus current liability. Okay, so if you think about this, NCA plus CA, what does that mean? It means total asset lah, correct or not? So I think total asset is easier to remember compared to working capital. Am I right? Because some people just cannot remember working capital. Giving you guys more formula, sometimes it's just, oh my god, all right, I just cannot put all these things into my head. All right, so I will always tend to make it simpler, all right, for you guys to see it from another angle. Yeah, technically you can just use total asset minus current liability, settle. All right, so which I think will be easier to remember lah. Okay, but it's totally up to you. Okay, then we have ROCE. What is ROCE? It's called return on capital employed. All right, so this is actually showing you guys the profit, how much actually made for the amount of invested there. All right, so a lot of these things I'm not going to go through. Okay, so please take this formula. All right, take this formula, and also take a picture of these things, okay, keep it with you, it will be useful, all right? And also the second page, okay, and also the second page now, all right? So what do they mean, all right? Like, yeah, what is it that after I calculate all these things, what is it for, all right? So later when I was doing, and I will be doing the, revealing the answers, okay, for the activity, then I'll tell you what they actually means, all right? So please take this with you also. And it would be good if you guys can actually understand these notes and then you answer and you tell me whether what you have learned, okay, what you know about the numbers that later you calculated. Okay, this is the way to study statistics. All right, sort of. Okay, ratio is always for us to know whether the company is like, are they doing well or not in a different manner, like mostly in percentage. Okay, rather than just seeing the numbers. I mean, there's a lot of numbers, but you won't be able to tell, right, whether are they good or bad, right? Because that's why we need to put it into a different form. Okay, ratio will be the one that will help you to know whether are they doing well or not. Okay, so yes, you have another 10 seconds to take this picture. All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so let's move on to the things that I want you guys to teach. Anyway, if you miss out, let me know later in the comment section. I'll come back to this. All right, so let's look at the questions that I want you guys to actually do. All right, so grab your calculator, please. Okay, you need calculator here. So yes, which company actually performed better in 2019? So the numbers that early on, the slide that I show you guys, all right, is actually for the numbers coming from the 2019 annual report. So yeah, all right. So in this case, I need you guys to calculate the ROCE, gross margin, profit margin, current ratio, and liquid ratio for both of these companies. Okay, so I will give you guys, let's say, around 10 minutes. Okay, I think that will be sufficient. 5 minutes for one company. Is that okay? All right, about 10 minutes to do this. So then I can go and have a short toilet break and also see my baby whether she's okay or not. All right, so this is your task. All right, this is your task. Okay, anyway, if you miss out anything, not too sure, okay, you can always ask me. Okay, I'm here to help, not to just straight away just throw in a problem to you all early in the morning. All right, so you have the formula now to see whether do you know how to read a formula or not. Okay, notes already given to you already. Right, sometimes rather than I keep talking and teach, it will be better that you can actually learn something from the activity, teach yourself in this manner, especially when it comes to calculation, right? Like formula. Okay, and this is easier, right? This is easier than maths and maths. Right? Thank you for all the likes. Hi, Teacher Chung Ho. I saw your profile. Genshin Impact Mode. Okay, so please try to do this. Okay, get a paper, okay, or write it somewhere, calculate it, and after that, when I review the answers, okay, let's see whether you guys can get the correct answers or not. Okay, if you can, you want to type it out, okay, put it in the comment section to show us your answers, whether are they correct. Okay, that will be good also. Why not? Okay, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Right, it's okay because this is something new, totally new today. Correct, right? I'm just on the test you guys whether if I give you the formula, you know how to pick up all the information and to calculate. Yeah, because one of the criteria of an accountant and an analyzer and all, you need to know where to get the information. Okay, and of course,
Teacher Patrick, your voice a bit robotic.
Okay, I'm drowning, right? Okay, let me rejoin again, right?
Okay, guys. Teacher Patrick.
Okay, it seems that Teacher Patrick is out for a while. He will be coming back soon. Let's give him a few minutes, okay, guys? So let Teacher Brandon and I entertain you all first, okay? So have you all seen not the ROCE, gross margin, profit margin?
Hello,
Current
is it
ratio,
okay?
liquid ratio. Oh, okay, he's back.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, much better. Okay.
Because
Yeah.
because
So,
if I
hey
use
guys.
my phone, right, normally
Okay,
after
we're gonna
a
go
while I'll
remove
be
ourselves. Bye,
under
guys.
the sea.
Okay, okay. Thanks,
Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So please let me know. Okay. Thank God I have Teacher Sam and Teacher Brandon here to help out. All right. So whenever my voice go into drowning into the sea, yes. Okay. So please let me know. I need to rejoin and it will be fine. All right. Is the slide clear? All right. It looks a bit like chat a bit. Okay, so you're going to need to calculate ROCE, gross margin, profit margin, current ratio, and liquid ratio. Okay. Okay, if there's any question, all right, please do ask. Okay, but it should be straightforward lah. Okay, from the notes that I gave you all. Okay, see the formula, and then go back to the numbers. Okay, and then find all the numbers that you need to calculate. All right, for these 5 things. Yes, Kelvin. Yep, you can do that. All right, ROCE, you can write total assets minus total liability. All right, because in the end, what is important is the number. All right, you don't need to worry that you must write down what it is. All right, it's the number that you are calculating. Okay, but no capital given. Okay, Wheeler. So there's another word for capital. There's another word for capital, Wheeler. What is it? So you need to know, right? Like I said before, accounting like to ask, right? Giving you a different terms, right? So not every time it's the same terms. So you need to know more words that has the same meaning. Yes, Fabian, thank you so much for helping, right? So Wheeler, okay, yes, OE, equity, right? Equity is actually the capital, all right? You see, Nike and Adidas is a limited company, all right? So these are the company and you cannot call it, they cannot use the terms capital on them, right? Because they are limited company. So it will be changed to equity, which is actually capital, right? Okay, how many more minutes? What is ROCE? Return on capital employed. So Yo-Yo, just now, are you just here? If you're just here because I have the notes lah, and to make sure that previous. Okay. What is ROCE? Okay, you can check. So please take picture of these notes. Right, you need this. Okay, you need this to calculate. So ROCE, right? Read the definition. Understand what we're talking about or not? Okay, so the red color ratios are the one that I need you guys to calculate. Okay, I shall leave this page here. So I hope you have all the numbers, right? So ratio, Yo-Yo, if you are trying to calculate, you must also make sure that you have the previous, okay, slides, which is this one. Okay, so all the numbers are here. Okay, you should have these two in order to calculate, all right, the 5 things that I asked. Okay, this one, all right, and then after that, and this one. So please have the phone ready to take a picture, all right? Okay, with all the information given here, you will be able to calculate, provided you know how to read the formula. Okay, so once you calculate, you guys will give me the answers today later on. Then I will be telling you all what's the meaning of all this one by one. What's the meaning of ROCE? what is the meaning of the percentage, okay, that you guys gotten, all right? So please remember, the answers are in percentage for the first three things, all right? So for ROCE, gross margin, profit margin, they are all in percentage. And then ratio, all right, is just ratio, how many to how many, all right? And I'm pretty sure a lot of people, gross margin and profit margin, you know this. Because yeah, you have seen this before, am I right? Okay, technically, if you have gone through the incomplete record topics, you will know what this is, all right? So now the new thing is this called ROCE, return on capital employed, all right? Okay, I'll appreciate if somebody can actually, like, you know, once you've gotten the answers, maybe leave it in the comment section so that I know that, oh yeah, you have calculated and you got the answers. All right, don't worry whether the answers is correct or wrong. Okay, you try and you calculate first. Okay. Mm, mm. Okay, so far no questions. Let me go and see a baby for a while. Yeah. Okay, baby is with the grandma, so she's fine. I think it's sleeping already, right? Drink so much milk. Yesterday she been very nice to me and my wife because she didn't like very cranky, didn't like keep waking up every 1 hour to drink and then to cry. Right? Every night I've been suffering, not to say suffering, like yeah, not enough sleep because of that. Yesterday she's like, oh, she drink, and after that fall asleep. Fall asleep like at least 2 hours, 3 hours. So that's the time that I also get a lot of sleep. And thanks to my wife also, she's been taking care. So yesterday also I get to rest a lot so that today I can have this webinar. So dear Brandon, all got decimal. And yes, okay. So you have two decimal, not all lah, is it all? Not all, but okay, maybe you can have two, okay, with two significant figures, all right? I mean, yeah, decimal place. Yes, Villa. How come I cannot see the message one? How come the latest comment cannot see? Am I lagging? No, should be fine. Okay, guys, maybe let's give another 3 minutes. All right, so Kaylee, Nike, ROCE 25.4, okay, gross margin 44.7, okay, 10.3, 2 to 1 to 1, and then we have the 1.4 to 1, that's for Nike, all right? Okay, that's Kaylee's answer. Hey, how come I don't see all these things in my comment? Do I need to rejoin? Okay, so another tips for you guys, when calculating ratio, right? When calculating ratio, make sure that, especially the current ratio and liquid ratio, make sure to simplify, okay? Always remember to simplify and to make sure that your liabilities, okay? Your current liabilities has to be 1, okay? Can you guys see? All right, if you guys look at current ratio, I already put there, current liabilities always equal to 1. You have to simplify to make it 1. All right, so Fabian, you can actually try to simplify it. I need to maybe go out from my Facebook and then come back again. Because I'm not getting all the comment that you guys wrote. How to do this? Just refresh. Right, Xiaoshan, we have Adidas, right? 52 for GM, all right, 8.11, current ratio 1 to 2.5, 1 to, and then liquid ratio is 1 to 1.28, okay. Yeah, there should be a delay or something. All right, yes, there's always a delay. 44, 167, all right. Very good. So a lot of people already gotten at least Nike and Adidas. Okay. Okay, Fabian is calculating 90 margin, all right. What about Adidas? Do you need more time? Okay, anyone, do you guys need more time to calculate for both companies? Okay, don't just calculate one, calculate for both of it. Yes, because the more you know, the more you practice, all right, the better it is. Okay, so let's hope, I hope that some of you guys managed to get all correct answer. Okay. All right, can we need more time? All right, so let's extend, let's give some more time. My session is until 10:30. Yeah, no problem. Just nice. Because the past questions I'm going to discuss is also ratio, right? So it won't take very long, hopefully. So take another 2 minutes. Is that okay? 2 more minutes. So stretching. Yo, Sheng macam yes. Lagi. 5.4, adjust 12.12, 47.67, 52, and 3.81. Okay. So the ratio part, all right, Yangshan, ratio part have to simplify. Turn it into something over 1. Okay, the ratio has to be, liability must always be 1. Okay, so that's the tips. For ratio, current liabilities must always be equivalent to 1. And it's easier for us to see, okay, if we just put all the numbers there, right, it's very hard to actually to see the ratio. Okay, 210. Liquid ratio 1.39, that's for Nike, is it? Okay. Fabian, do you do the Adidas? Do you still need time for Adidas? Okay, once you calculated Nike, then you just do the same thing for Adidas also, all right? Okay, 1.25 to 1, 0.2 to 210. 210 is current ratio. Now that's liquid ratio, okay? Adidas, Adidas. You can only calculate Nike. Okay, if you need more time for Adidas, right? Still calculating current ratio and liquid ratio. Okay, Ken? All right, let's top up another 3 minutes. Let's go. 3 more minutes, guys. 3 more minutes. Okay. testing your speed on calculator and also to see the information. Right? Okay, Fabian current ratio is 1.25 to 1. Quick ratio is 1 to 128. Okay, don't worry, you guys, you will see the workings and also the answer after this. Okay, Kaylee is calculating Adidas. 16.1, 52, 8.1, 1.3, 0.8 to 1. Okay. All right. So I already have students who calculated Nike and Adidas. Well done, people. Well done. Very good. All right. With the speed of this, around 10 minutes, that is very good. Okay. If you are still calculating, don't worry. Okay. Just continue to calculate. All right. You still have time. You have another 2 more minutes. Hey, baby, come, baby. Baby, stop by first. Ah, baby.
Came back from the Caribbean.
Ayo, you came up from Caribbean. Yeah, lor. Why like that one? Come. Yay, show people, baby. Let's sing my baby first. Stella.
This side.
Nama you hold it lah. Okay, let's bring phone to Kai Kai. Hey, see baby. Hi, baby. Hi, baby Stella. Pew. Pew.
Give a smile. Give a smile.
Will she smile?
No.
No, she's just stoning now. She's so stoned. She's...
You grab the phone.
No. Not so much screen time, okay? Bye. Baby stoning. Hey, breast pump. Breastfeeding. Breast pump. Hi, thank you. Yeah, baby is all cute, right? Yeah, baby is all cute when they're not crying. The moment they start crying, I tell you, everyone's world just start crumbling. It's like, no, just stop crying, please. What do you want? Like, are you hungry? Have you pee or poop? Are you like very hot? Are you feeling okay or not? It's like, yeah, all parents goes crazy after hearing their cries. Yeah, if they cry. Okay, guys, 1 more minute. Last one. Like 1 more minute. I hope you guys are done calculating. Ear rape. The loudness. Yes. It give you the feeling like, oh no, I just don't know what to do now. Okay, 1 more minute. Kelvin, you can do this, Kelvin. You can do this. Okay, don't pressure. Okay. Calculation, sometimes we don't just want speed, but we want accuracy. All right. So if you take some time, okay, that's fine. All right. But make sure that it's accurate lah. All right. So if you are fast, there's no use. If it's really high pitch, yes. Yes, the ratio need to be simplified, correct. Okay, you have to make sure that current liabilities is 1. So how do you guys turn current liability into 1 leh? Right? Just divide by the same number lor. When you divide by the same number, then your current asset, that the other side, must also be divided by the same thing lor. Correct or not? Okay, so this part is not very hard, I believe. Okay, you guys can do it. A lot of people already gotten the answer. All right, so time now is 10:08. So let me review. All right, are you guys ready? All right, I'm going to review the answer. All right, so let's see whether you guys can get everything correct or not. Okay, so type down in the comment section that if you have all the correct answer. Okay, raise your hand. Okay, or give yourself a clap. Okay, give yourself a clap emoji. that shows that you actually gotten all the correct answer. Okay. Ta-da! Oopsie. Yep. So this is the answer and also the workings. Okay. So yes, let's check. So for Nike, right? For Nike ROCE, I'll just read up all the Nike's answer first. So for Nike ROCE is 25.42. Yes, please leave it at the 2 decimal place. So usually is 2 decimal place if they didn't say anything. Okay, it's fine if you guys just do 1 decimal place, all right, or none. Okay, but just for you guys to know, for ratio, if the question did not say anything, it's always 2 decimal place. All right. Okay, so the message is still down there. All right, the cute Fabian is your message again. Fabian, it's always your message. All right, yes, it's removed already. Okay, you can see now. All right, so for Nike is 25.42 for ROCE. Gross margin is 44.67. Profit margin is 10.3. Current ratio is 2 to 1. Okay, 2.1 to 1. Okay, and after that, liquid ratio is 1.39 to 1. So that's for Nike. All right. So even if you get everything good, correct for Nike, give yourself a clap also. All right. So next one will be Adidas. Adidas ROCE is 16.07%. All right. Then gross margin 52%, profit margin 8.11, current ratio is 1.25 to 1, and liquid ratio is 0.7 to 1. Okay. Just first 3 for Nike is wrong. All right. So please make sure that you guys know why. What have you made? Okay, that is wrong. All right. Yay, Fabian, all correct. Well done, Fabian. Okay. Where did the 7866? Okay, technically because not enough space, right? So all the behind the 30 are just removed lah. Okay, same thing. Where do we get the 7866? Because I am using total asset minus current liability. Okay, so for those who are not sure how I show the working 7866, I'm using the first one, which is total asset minus current liability. You will get the same answer if you use capital plus non-current liability. You will get the same thing. Yeah, all zero is the same thing. You all zero gonna cut out, okay? You still get the same percentage. You put the zero inside, you still get the same percentage. Okay, so that's how your maths works, right? Okay. So beside that, Fabian, anyone else, right? Please cut down. Okay, show that yes, you got all the correct answers. All right. If not, never mind. Okay. For each question that you get correct, that is a gain for today. All right. So you have learned something new. How to get capital employed again? So capital employed, what is the formula? So let me just go back before this. So you have the notes that I just given, correct or not? Okay. So how to get capital employed again? The blue color, the second one, right? The second one, blue color. You can use total asset minus current liabilities, okay? Or you can use equity plus non-current liability. All right, you can do this, okay, to calculate. All right, Xiaoyi, is that okay? All right, the formula is here. So like I said, you need to know how to use the formula to calculate the answers. So for ROCE, yes, you need the capital employed first. Okay, then you use PFDY over capital employed. All right. Yes. So for this case, so how do you know whether which one is performing better in this case? So this is where we do the comparison. So for ROCE, which one will be better? Is the higher the percentage better or the lower, right? So ROCE is to measure, right? Is to calculate how much returns, okay, are you getting in the percentage, right? Technically, it means for every $100 invested, for every $100 that you put in, okay. So how much is the return? So if it's 25.42, that means for every $100 that you put in, you get back $25.42, okay, in dollar. So remove the percentage and change it to dollar only. Right? For every $100 you invest, you get 25.42. So obviously, the higher the better. So in this case, right, Nike. Okay, Nike will be better return investment for 2019. Okay, this is only for 2019. Right? In between Adidas and Nike. So the next one, gross margin, which one? All right. So that will be, of course, gross margin is Adidas is better. Okay. So Adidas, in terms of their product, okay, in terms of the product, their margin is better for their stocks. Okay, so gross margin is using gross profit divided by their sales. Okay, so that means their product actually have a higher profitability. Okay, so in terms of GP, Adidas is better. All right. Then we have profit margin. So profit margin is technically it means after deducting all the expenses, right? After minusing all the expenses, all the operational stuff. So in the end, the leftover, right? The leftover, the final profit. So which one is better? So apparently Nike is better here, right? In terms of it's 10.3 and 8.11. Understand? All right. So is they earn more? Yeah, in this case, yeah. So for every product they sell, they earn more, okay, compared to Nike. Okay, Adidas earn more compared to Nike. That's for gross profit margin. Okay, so here, questions, guys, okay, try to answer this also. Who do you think have a better control of expenses? When I say better control of expenses means, yeah, who have less expenses? Which company? Is it Nike or is it Adidas? How? How do you know whether which company has a lesser expenses? So what you can do is use profit margin, compare with their gross margin. Okay, so you see from gross profit now drop down to profit margin, right? So the difference, the gap, the difference is the expenses. Okay, so in this case, which company have more expenses, which have less expenses? Yeah, so which one? Okay, so some say Adidas, Nike. Okay, so what you do is for Nike, use 44.67 minus 10.3. So what do you get? Okay, and then after that, for Adidas, do the same thing. So which one have higher percentage? So the higher the percentage means, okay, they're not good law, means they have more expenses. So can you guys see, actually Adidas from 52, suddenly the final profit is only 8% more, right? So that means they actually have more expenses. Okay, so in this case, Nike is better at controlling the expense. They have less expenses. Now, at this point, you guys will probably think that, yeah, Nike is better. Okay, Nike is better. Yes, okay, for 2019, they are better. I don't choose 2020 because 2020 was a pandemic year. All right, last year is pandemic, so it affects all the businesses. Right, Adidas straight away is a loss also. All right. Now, pay attention also to the years. To the years they were founded. Adidas was founded first. Okay, so Adidas has a longer history compared to Nike. Okay, so in this case, even though Nike is fairly new, but they actually earn more, and then after that they have better control at the expenses and all. Maybe Adidas has been quite some time, and they have a lot of expenses, a commitment that they cannot just simply cut off. Okay, so that could be also one of the reasons why they have more expenses. Okay, so you see all this number will able to help you to know like, hey, what do they actually means? Okay, so you can know from that, which is why the second slide that I given to you is for you guys to know, oh, what is the meaning of each of this ratio. Okay, and then is it higher the better? How you can improve them? Okay, and all these things will be tested in your paper too. All right. What about current ratio? Now, current ratio, okay, in this case, who is better? Now, current ratio is to see whether do they have enough money to pay their liability or not. Okay, we're talking about whether a company, do they have enough to pay off their liability when it's due? That means, yeah, when they ask for money, do they have enough to give or not? All right. So in this case, for current ratio, who will be better? All right. So if you guys look at the notes, okay, let me go back to my notes here. Okay, under current ratio, okay, under current ratio, there is an standard, okay, satisfactory line. So the satisfactory line is telling us that this guideline, okay, based on this guideline, for current ratio, if the ratio is 1.5 to 1 or 2 to 1, that is the best, like most satisfactory. Okay, 2 to 1 is good. That means you have enough asset to pay the liability. Understand? Okay, so 1.5 to 1 or 2 to 1 is good. All right, in between that. And for liquid ratio, if you look at liquid ratio, number 5 on top here, liquid ratio. So the best satisfactory line is 1 to 1. So liquid ratio is the one that without selling off their inventory. So without inventory, whatever their unsold goods, do they have enough money to actually pay off the liability? So if you have 1 to 1, that is the best, right? If you have more than one, okay, of course, there's some meaning and all, which I won't be discussing all those in details, all right? So if you want to know, okay, can come and join the class, all right? Or you can eventually, when you study this topic, you will be explained in more details, all right? So today, I want to focus more on the how to calculate, just to introduce to you all, okay, how all these numbers can actually tell us which company is actually better in this case, okay? So let me go back to the ratio, all right? So in this case, for current ratio, which one will be better? All right. Now, both also is in a positive, correct or not? But if you ask me, I will choose Nike because Nike 2-1, right? Just slightly above the benchmark, but it means that they actually have enough, right? It's better to have enough rather than not enough, right? So Adidas is also enough, 1.25-1. That means they can cover, right? If it's more than one, technically they can cover already, right? They can cover their liability, which is good, right? But looking at the satisfactory benchmark, so I will choose the one that closest to the numbers, okay, to the benchmark. So Nike will be better in this place, right? And what about the last one, liquid ratio? So liquid ratio, yeah, which one don't need, okay, which one don't need to sell their inventory? Okay, they don't need to sell inventory, they also can pay off their liability. So in this case, it's going to be Nike, all right? So Nike, you see, even without inventory, whatever the leftover goods, right, they already have enough to pay back their liability. Whereas for Adidas, Adidas is 0.78-1. What does that mean? Okay, 0.78, that means not enough, you know. Yeah, it's less than 1. That means you have to sell off your goods. Then only you can actually pay off the liabilities. So that is what it means, all right? So yeah, for 2019, Nike performed better. Yay! Right? But then guys, you cannot just base on 1 year and then to decide whether the company is doing well, okay? For overall, this ratio part is to tell us that if you want to do your homework, which is to analyze the whole thing, you have to do at least 5 years. All right, you have to calculate for 5 years. Okay, all these things. Actually, of course, if you guys go online, everything will be calculated for you already. Okay. Now I'm just making you guys to calculate. All these things you can actually find online, and you can just compare and to see. So, but here, making you guys calculate, I'm teaching you guys how to actually see and understand, yeah, whether why are they good and why they're not good. Okay, yeah, you have to see a few financial year. It's not fair to just look at 1 year. Understand? Some company in that 1 year, they do very well, but the other years is like, oh no, like just very bad. Okay, Ken? So I hope you guys learned something here. Okay, so for those who get everything correct, okay, I know Fabian. Okay, for those who even though didn't get everything correct, but make sure that the next time that you do ratio questions, you have no problem with this. Okay, so I only left like probably 10 minutes here, so I let me speed up a bit. All right, so let me just cover at least one part of the IGCSE question because ratio every paper also have. Every single paper also they have ratio questions there. All right, so I'm looking at 2020 October, November, paper 2, variant 2. Okay, so this is the paper I'm looking at. And I will be doing question number 4. Okay, I'll be doing question number 4. So question number 4, we have Carlos owns a business selling computer equipment. So he provides the following information. So they give us sales, cost of sales, operating expenses, drawings, and then they give us capital employed. All right. So they say calculate the profit for the year ended 31st July 2020. All right. So given on 2019, the profit for the year is 11550. Okay. And then now they ask me to calculate profit for the year for 31st July. So how do I do this? Right. So you need to know how to calculate profit. So you should have learned, if you're taking accounting, you should have learned how to calculate profit already, okay, by now. So in this case, all right, so workings. If they give you workings, please show working, right? Even though it's 1 mark, just use this box as a working, all right? So how should I calculate profit for the year? I should use sales, right? I should use sales, which is 240000. Okay, and what do I do with cost of sales? Yes, we will minus sales, always minus cost of sales. Okay, 169000. Okay, and that will give me the gross profit, correct? And then after that, I want to calculate profit for the year. So what is the last thing? I still have operating expenses. Okay, so minus the operating expenses, 55,000. Okay, and what do I get here? Okay, I should have calculator. Okay. So yes, if you guys are doing this with me, make sure you have a calculator. So 240000 and minus 169000 and minus 55,000. okay, you should get 16,000. Okay, 16. All right, so that will be the answer. So 16,000, easy, 1 mark. Understand? All right, so this is how we do question A. And then what for B? So B, calculate the following ratio correct to 2 decimal place. Right? So yeah, they will tell you. If they don't tell you, also please do 2 decimal place, right? Because that's standard for a ratio question. So how to calculate profit margin again? Profit margin, yeah, drawing is not in the cost of sales, correct, Yu Hong? Drawing is drawing. The one in the cost of sales is called goods for own use. So yeah, you see a lot of people always confused about these things, right? So I won't be explaining so much on that part, okay? Because this is formula. Okay, if you're not too sure about certain formula, maybe perhaps okay, coming to my class, I will able to explain to you. All right, or if not, okay, you can also leave message in the comment in our group, Facebook group, and I will reply to that. Okay. So how to calculate profit margin again? We have to take the profit that we just calculated just now, right? So yeah, we just calculated profit just now, okay? And to calculate profit margin is using PFTY divided by sales, right? Divided by total sales. So total sales is 24,000. Sorry, 240,000. 240,000. Okay, so 240,000, and I have to change the percentage. I need to times with 100. Okay, so my answer will be, okay, if you calculate this one, you should be able to get 6.67%. Okay, 6.67%. Okay, if you calculate all these things. So sorry guys, I need to speed up a bit because if not, then I couldn't cover all the answers here. All right, then what about gross margin? Gross margin, just apply the formula. So what's your GP? Right, the GP is using sales minus cost of sales, right? So sales is this one minus cost of sales 16900. So this is my GP. Oopsie. Okay, and after that I need to then divide by over sales, right? Over sales 240. Then in the end, times with 100. Okay. Let me just make this bigger. Okay. So what's the answer that I will get here? For GP margin, my answer would be sure, when should we use gross margin formula? When should we use the margin formula? Sales over GP times 100. Wait. Okay, teacher. All right, 5 more minutes. Yes, it's GP over sales. All right. So yeah, when they ask you for gross margin, when they say margin, then you have to put GP over sales. So always see what the question will ask you to do. All right. Okay. Okay, so the answer here will be 29.58%. Okay, so if you guys calculate, you get this answer. So just have to use all the things that you just learned, okay, and the question will go like this. Easy. Return on capital employed, all right, so given, we already calculated the PFTY 16,000, okay, you got this ready. So now over what? Capital employed. Capital employed is given. Wow, this question is easy. It's given straight away. Capital employed 62,000, right? So divide by 62,000 and times with 100. Always remember to put it under percentage here. Okay, and that would be 25.81. Okay, the answer would be 25.81%. Okay. So with that, easily, all right, you have 6 marks already just from calculation itself. All right, easy 6 marks. So after that, what do we do? You see, the next question asks you guys to comment on the performance. Wow, you're supposed to comment on the performance in this case. So technically, yes, after you have calculated, then what you should do here, all right? So what do they mean? So who is better? So this is where you have to comment, like giving general comment like which one is better. So is it 2019 is better or 2022 better or not? All right. So because of time constraint, all right, I'm going to show you guys the marking scheme. So for this part, when you guys are doing calculation, once you calculated already, you can always, all right, to see for yourself like how they answer the comment part. Okay. So 2019 is better. Yes, correct. So the comment part, you cannot just do like this because why? The question actually asks for 6 marks, right? It's a 6 marks question. Okay, so a lot to write here. So you guys see, account is not just about numbers. After you calculate it, you also need to explain to them what do they mean by that. Okay. You need to explain to them, yeah, and comment on the numbers. Is this 6 marks here just for comment, right? Comment on the performance. So comment is just need to tell them what you see, all right? So what do we see here? You can clearly see that the, okay, it has worsened, right? So general comment, okay? So the percentage for, let's say, profit margin, okay? Profit margin has worsened, right? Worsened from how much to how much, okay? So worsened from 856% to 667, all right? So you can use other words also, don't worry, okay? You use your own words, you can say the percentage has decreased, okay? So they're not doing very well. You can use your own words as long as the meaning is there, okay? So for comment, general comment like this, you get 1 mark, okay? Just mention the ratio from what to what, and then after that, what do they mean? Okay, maybe give a reason why you think it's dropped. All right. So for profit margin, why they drop? Okay. So the answer here can say could be because there are more expenses. Okay, or maybe no control over expenses. That's why what you learned about profit margin just now, right? Okay. So profit margin is like see the gap. So which one have a better control expenses? Then number 2, gross margin, right? Gross margin, you can also give the normal comment. So all this depends on question. Since the question asked like this, so therefore we give them, all right, telling them that this has worsened and all, and then what's a possible reason? Okay. So for gross margin, you see maybe they have less sales, right? Maybe they're increasing cost of sales, that's why the percentage is lower. And then the return on capital employed, right, also worsen. Means what? Maybe they didn't use the funds efficiently. So all this in my notes already mentioned, okay, like what is the usage, what is the purpose of having this ratio and all. All right, so I think my time is up. Coming here already, chasing already. Okay, just time and Brandon. So do I get any extra minutes? No,
No, because the other teacher is waiting also. So sorry, Shepherd.
Okay, so can I just give one last part? Thank you
Sure,
to
sure,
them.
sure.
Yeah. So guys, so thank you so much. Okay, I see that maybe I talked too much. Okay, given too much time there, couldn't cover most of the things. Yeah, but don't worry. Okay, if you guys need to know the other things and all right, you can always come and join me in my class. All right, you can sign up for all these things. So thank you for being awesome. All right. So the last part, yes, don't worry. Even if you're not joining this, I know you got this. You were able to nail your IGCSE. All right. So yes, even if you cannot, what do? You can sign up today. All right, you can join us in the class. We can definitely help you guys. All right, and yeah, also you guys can follow my Instagram. Okay, so that is perfect. All right, so thank you so much, people. All right, I hope you guys enjoy and you learn something. Okay, so if I see you, I see you guys. All right, bye bye. Ciao,
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Sorry to cut you off like that.
Bye.
All right, guys. I
Okay.
hope you guys learned a lot. Teacher Patrick basically conducted a 1.5 hour class here today. Wow.
Yeah, solid
Impressive,
1.5
impressive.
hours. Okay.
Solid
Yeah.
class.
Okay, it's a very solid class. I mean, I myself also learned a lot. Yeah. Okay. So guys, thank you so much for joining the first session. All right. So I've seen need some new faces. Adriana. Okay, and then Sunzer, Carmen. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming. Okay. And now,
Hello,
so we
Serena.
okay, we have our next presenter already. Hello. Okay. So this is teacher Rina. Okay. So I don't think I need the slides because I know her very well. Okay. So yes. Okay. So today teacher Rina will be sharing on the chemistry part. Okay. So this is her very first time. Okay. So please guys please give her a lot of support. Okay. Smash the like button, smash the love button. Okay. Yeah, just give her a lot of support because guys, I told you yesterday, right? Okay, when it comes to secondary, okay, who is actually on par with me in terms of content delivery and also the ACE method. Okay, teacher Rina will be the best person. Okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So that's why I think without further ado, okay, we just let's just pass the floor to teacher Rina, okay, and then I will be managing the comment section, so don't worry about it.
All right,
Okay.
enjoy yourself, Serena.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you. First things first. Thank you for coming. Number 2, I apologize for the camera quality. I can't use my iPad because I'll be sharing my screen from there. So I'm using my lame webcam from my laptop. So apologies if you cannot see me clearly and if I look absolutely different from my promotion picture, my promotional picture. All right. Anyway, I'm teacher Rina. Just like teacher Brendan said, I've been teaching in ACE for 10 years now. Yes, I definitely feel like it's been 10 years. I see a lot of familiar names. Hello, everyone. And to those of you that are new, hello, welcome. I really hope that you will gain something from today's webinar. All right. Thank you for spending your Sunday here. I know it's not easy. Sunday is about to sleep in and you want to sleep in and things. But so thank you for being here. So let me just quickly share my screen and we can start. Okay. All right. Can everyone see my screen? Put a thumbs up if you can. Okay, great. All right. So guys, now, of course, I need to start by convincing you why are you here and why you're going to spend 1.5 hours listening to me, right? Okay. So first things first was the fact that I have been teaching chemistry for 10 years. I hope that's enough. Number two, my degree is nothing to do with chemistry, but don't fret because the fact that my degree has got nothing to do with chemistry, I had to learn everything from scratch. So I needed to teach myself how to understand because if I don't understand, I'll never make my student understand, right? So I had to make myself understand and taught myself, and that's why my delivery, when I deliver, it's like really chunked to the smallest basics first, and then I build from there because I'm just literally using the same concept I used for myself. All right. So I hope I can help with for you as well. Like I think all of you would have seen my promotional was I turned chemistry was okay. So chemistry was definitely my least favorite subject. Okay, no. Physics was my least favorite subject, followed by chemistry. And when I was asked to teach, I chose chemistry. So and then from there, I completely turned it into what it is now. So if I can, I truly believe you can. Because guys, trust me, I really did not like chemistry. And look at me today, 10 years on, about I no one has ever I think I only had few of them doing course. Majority of my students always do extended, and I'm looking at about 60% A's and A stars in my portfolio. So I hope all that has convinced you. Let's get started. And honestly, I feel like I'm living my YouTube influencer dream. I've always wanted to be a YouTuber, and now I found out that we are also streaming live on YouTube. So guys, I always wanted to do this. So please hit the like and subscribe button and the bell to keep updated. What was it again? Keep updated with the next video, which I'm never gonna post. But anyway, let's go. Okay, guys. Also, the other thing, I'm bound to make lame jokes. Laugh if you have to. If you don't want to laugh, just laugh. All right, let's move on. Okay, so I hope I know you guys are here today to learn some tips and tricks. And chemistry can be, out of the three sciences, chemistry can be one of the hardest to understand because we tell you atoms, we tell you elements, we tell you molecules, but you cannot see them. You can't see them bonding. You can't see them. It's literally whatever that your chemistry teacher has been telling you, you just take their word for it because you cannot see anything except if it's mixtures, things that you can see. But if it's anything to do with chemical reaction, we say, oh, this bond with this one to form this. We're just saying it, and you're just taking our word for it, right? So we understand chemistry can be a little difficult. So I will try my best to make it easier for you to understand and yeah, give you some tips and tricks. I know that's why you're here. Look, chemistry is a wide subject. So if you want to know more and more tips and tricks, of course, I cannot finish all of it today, right? You will have to join our 12-week intensive course. Of course, that one I'll be able to share a lot. However, today I need to make it more focused. So we're going to focus on paper 6. All right. But before that, let's just go through a few, like the housekeeping things, like what is it, what's chemistry, what are the grade threshold like. I mean, most of you here pretty sure want to score A and an A star, and what is it that you need to score, or how much, what's the raw mark like that you need to get in order to score for chemistry. All right, so let's get going. Now, before that, I would like you to quickly rate your experience in preparing for chemistry. That means when I say, so it's between a scale of 6 to 10, 10 being like you're really satisfied, and if you're still here, I thank you so much. And 5 and 1 being, 5 is like, you're at the age like you're okay, happy. 1 being, I'm just not confident. All right, now listen, if you're at 1, don't worry. I'm confident that I can move you up the scale today. Maybe not on 10, but I will move you up the scale. All right, so quickly rate yourself. Let me know where's your standing, how's your experience. Sometimes if you don't understand the subject, it's very hard to revise and to really absorb what your teacher is teaching. So it'd be great for me to know where you're standing. All right. So most of you are in the middle. I'm guessing. Yeah, I'm looking at it. Like most of you are like in the middle. Great. So look, today my aim today and my objective today is, okay, of course, I don't know if I can make you hit 10, but I want to at least bring you up the scale. I want you to get a little bit more confident in preparing. I want you to know that it's actually not really that challenging, especially if it's paper 6. It's not. We can get through whatever we want to. All right. So first things first, to prove that point, let's look at a grade threshold. All right. So this is your grade threshold. I think by now you know what's 1, 3, and 6. 1, 3, and 6 is if you're doing core. 2, 4, and 6 if you're doing extended. All right. And the difference between core and extended is, of course, core, your paper is just very basic. I'm sure all of you already know that. And the highest grade you can get is credit. However, when it comes to extended, which I highly encourage, I know some of you might be like, oh, I don't think so, I want to take extended, it's too difficult. Guys, it's very, very, very much possible. All right, just if you know
Sorry,
all
Teacher
the
Rina. Teacher
yeah,
Rina. The students say the word number is a bit too small. Is it okay for you to enlarge it? Ah, yes, yeah. Okay.
can okay. I will say it out as well.
Yeah. So if let's say you want to say the number, you might just enlarge it so the
Yeah,
student can see.
can, and
Yeah.
also no problem. Okay, so guys, I'm sorry if I keep looking down as well because my screen is down. Okay. Now let's see the raw mark for October and November. I'm sorry that's too small. Okay, so in October and November, right, to score the total threshold to get an A for paper 2 was, okay, obviously if you see for A and B, for paper 1, none, because like I said, the highest you can get is credit. For paper 2, it was 30 out of 40. So that you okay, we usually do component 2, 3, right? Incline Valley. So you're looking at 30 out of 40. That's giving you 10 marks out. So you can actually make 10 mistakes. All right. So that's 30 out of 40. Paper 4, you're looking at 51 out of 80. Okay, guys, very possible. Just think about it. You're thinking like, okay, you need to get 50 marks out of 80 marks. Very possible. It's almost just slightly more than half of the paper, right? And then paper 6 also, so paper 2 and paper 6, right? Generally, you need to score about the same marks, and then it's like 50-50. So paper 2, paper 6, you get about 50% of your total marks, and then paper 4 about 50%, and then you combine them. All right, so that's why even though paper 4 is difficult, right, paper 2 and paper 6 can combine and boost you up. Okay, so like I said, and that is 2019. 2020, the threshold dropped slightly, very slightly, of course, given the fact that it was pandemic and whatnot. You're looking at paper 2, it was 30 out of 40, same. Paper 4 dropped to 47. All right, so that's like even closer to half the paper. So that means you only needed to get almost half the paper right, and you would have gotten an advantage of getting an A. And then paper 6, 27, also only about half. All right, now, I know some of the schools are omitting paper 6 for the fact that because pandemic, you guys are not going to school, all right, so therefore you don't really have the experience in the lab. They're omitting paper 6 or even paper 5. But guys, I will highly suggest for you to do paper 6, because paper 6, if they omit paper 6, paper 4 weightage goes about 60%. So you need to really do well for paper 4 to obtain the mark that you want to obtain. All right, so if you have the choice, I will highly suggest for you to do paper 6 as well. So do all the 3 components instead of only doing 2 components. I understand why Cambridge is giving that option, but most of you already know half the things. You would have done it before and things like that. Okay? All right. Now, so the most important question, which is obviously, what do I do, or how much do I get to achieve an A or an A star for chemistry? And I have that answer for you. All right? So now, if you look at my numbers here, you will notice that, hey, why is it so much higher than the threshold above? Yes, because we are trying to play safe. Okay? So now, when you are starting to practice doing all your past year papers, this is what you're going to aim for. For paper 1 or paper 2, try to get your mark at 36, between 35 to 36 out of 40. Okay? Then paper 6, same thing, 36 or 35 out of 40. That will give you that paper 4 to get about 50 to 60 out of 40. And now if you get 60 out of 80, sorry, not 40, 80, if you get 60 out of 80, 36 out of 40 and 36 out of 40, guarantee A star. No questions asked. It's guaranteed A star. All right? A will be slightly lesser than that. But if you get the marks that I'm showing you right now, these marks here, all right, this is a guaranteed A star marks. Okay, people? And in chemistry, let me tell you, it's quite easy to get A star, because generally, not just here, most people do find it difficult. Okay? All right. So now, how are we going to achieve that? No worries. We are going to do that. So today, of course, I cannot focus on everything, right, guys? So I'm going to focus on paper 6. All right. Now, why paper 6? Just like all your other sciences, paper 6 is standard. You will never go beyond this scope, right? So question number 1, it's always about lab or experimental questions. They will set up an experiment, ask you to either label the apparatus, ask you what has gone wrong in the experiment, what to do better, what observation, standard. All right? I will go through more and I'll show you the papers later in a little bit. So that is question number 1. It's definite that going to be that question. Then question number 2, generally it's a graph question. Now why I say general, because last year there was no graph. Okay, but again, I think it was because of the pandemic. They were not sure whether we were going to do it online or not, so there were no graph questions. I mean, as in like to draw a plot graph. But however, prior to that year, every single year, there has been a graph, without a doubt. And you are looking at it. Now, graph is simple because it's literally only 2 things, which I'll go through again later. So that's the second part. All right. And then salt identification, guaranteed out. And you're looking at about 9 marks, sometimes 8, sometimes even 10. All right. You can see all this. And don't worry, today, this will be my biggest tip for you on how, because I know a lot of students struggle with salt identification because of so many colors, so many things. Today, I will tell you, or at least give you some tips on how to remember. Like I said, again, I'll make some lame jokes. But you know what? It's okay. I'll make lame jokes. As long as you can remember, that's fine. And you know what? At the end of the day, I know I always get the last laugh because I've seen it happen before. All right? So, salt identification is question number 3, definite. And the last question will always be on lab report. Okay? Which is how to conduct an experiment. They will tell you, give you a question, and they'll say, all right, how do you do this, 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 this? You have all this apparatus. These are your reactants. What can you do with it? Okay, standard. So this is why paper 6 is very easy to score. you keep practicing, you know the tips and tricks and how to tackle the question, you've got it. All right. So again, let me recap again. So again, 4 questions, and these are your general 4 questions. And for today's objective, I am going to get you to get yourselves familiarized with these 4 questions and increase your confidence to tackle the paper and show you what are the skills that you need to answer paper 6. Okay? All right. Now, if you're ready, let's get going. Now, this is the actual starting of this class. Okay? So let's start. Okay. Now, why am I starting with qualitative analysis or SALT identification? Because this is going to take the most amount of time. So I'm starting with question 3. Generally question 3 in your paper 6, because this takes the longest amount of time, and I'm afraid in case if I start this later and then there's not enough time, then we're going to lose out on the tips and tricks. So because the others I can do it quite quick, SALT identification is going to take a while. So that's why you will see the numbering, like I'm going to start with number 3 and then number 1 and things like that. Okay, so this is why. So don't get like distracted from it. Okay, now let's start with the first question. Now, how many of you you can just say yes or no, enjoy this? Yes for you enjoy, no for you do not enjoy this kind of questions. All right, so this is what we quickly let me know so that I can see how many of you am I going to have to convince and how many of you like, oh, you're already on my side. Okay. So,
Okay. Sorry, Teacher Rina. Teacher Rina,
yes,
sorry.
cannot
I
see again.
think because I think some of the students, right, they they have problem looking at the words, right? So can I suggest that your iPad or you just tilt it, like there's this auto rotation one. You just tilt it and then you make it into landscape. Yeah, to see whether the
That earlier was landscape. This is landscape.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is landscape lah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I think sorry, guys, just helping teacher Rina out with the technical part. So I think for the Zoom side, right, you can actually like turn off the video and minimize, see whether it help enlarge the screen or not.
What do you mean minimize?
It's like maybe you can put a spotlight on the full screen. You press full screen and see. Yes.
Better?
Yes, this is bigger. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. Sorry, guys, if you guys couldn't see. I hope it's better now. I truly hope it's better. All right. Teacher Brendan will let me know again if you guys cannot see anything or if you cannot hear me clearly. He will let me know. Apologize in advance. Okay, now again, back to this question. How do we tackle this question? Now, I know a lot of times, or at least when I first started teaching this, I used to also how to answer this with so many words, so many reactants, so many things, observations. How do I answer this question? So here the question, I'm not going to go through the question. I want you to quickly try first. Like you just go through this question and go like, oh, what do I do? How do I answer this question? Usually this is how they will start. They will generally start with 2 things. They will give you 2 solids. First solid, they will tell you the name. Then you must write the observations. All right. And then the second solid, they will give you the observations and you must come up with the name. So this is what they have said here about solid Y. So they said solid Y dissolved in water to form a solution. So now you already know this. Solid Y is soluble because it formed a solution. All right, so we know that is soluble. All right, now solution Y was divided into 4 portions, and then we add aqueous ammonia and white precipitate form. So now, how do I know what are the ions present if I get white precipitate? And it was insoluble in excess. Then next one, they say they add sodium hydroxide. Then they add more, and they also found white precipitate, and then the excess form in colorless. Again, this means it was soluble. All right. Then we move on to test 3. They say test 3, aluminum foil was added to solution and formed in test 2, and the gas turned red, litmus paper blue. All right, so we know this is a gas. Now we need to figure out which gas this is. And then test 4, they said that nitric acid. So this one here, we would need to figure out, this is the anion part. Don't worry guys, I will go through every single thing in a little bit. Right now I'm just giving you the bigger picture. All right, and they added silver nitrate and it remained colorless and no precipitate form. Okay, so then so this is where you do not know what the solution is. They've given you the gas, they've given you all the observations and you're supposed to figure out. All right, so now how are we going to figure this out? How many of you find this difficult? How many of you find this, like, oh, it's easy, I know this, right? Let's see how many of you will figure this out. Anyone want to tell me what is solid Y? Anyone want to give a good try? What do you think solid Y and what was the gas given off? Any answers? So they want to know gas given off. How do you know what gas was given off from test 3? Is by looking at red litmus paper turned blue. Yes, this is ammonia. All right, and then we also need to identify what is solid Y. How do I identify solid Y? We have these two things here to tell us what solid Y is for the cation part. So we know that in ammonia, it forms white precipitate and is insoluble in excess. And in test 2, in sodium hydroxide, it forms white precipitate and it has a colorless solution, that means it's soluble. So how do we find out? Now, introducing the one and only, I don't know if you guys can see clearly, but I'm going to try to zoom in. Okay, I know this part is difficult to see, but don't worry, I will tell you what that is in a little bit. But there you have it. This is the ACE method flow chart. Okay, now with this flow chart, that 8 marks that I told you up there, you will at least get 4 or 5 marks. Then the other ones come from the anion test. Now this is known as the cation test. What does cation mean? That means you want to know what are the positive ions inside this unknown substance. Now, why do we even do qualitative analysis? Qualitative analysis is so that we can find out what it is. So let me tell you all the steps that you need to know to find out what is the unknown substance. So generally, they will give you an unknown substance, and these are the few things that you need to know to find out what is the unknown substance. Number 1 is for the cation test, which is the flow chart that I just showed you. I haven't gone through it. I'll go through it in a little bit. Then we have anion test. Okay, this is generally a table. I don't think I'll have enough time to go through this table, but I'm just going to show you. In IGCSE, you need to know all of this. This is the only one you need to know for IGCSE. This is known as carbonates. All right, I very quickly will tell you what will happen to carbonate. You add it into acid, and it will form bubbles. Bubble it into lime water. Lime water will form white precipitate. All right, then we have halides. Halides, the 3 halides that you need to know are chloride, bromide, and iodide. All right, the test for this is silver nitrate, and then you will get white precipitate here, cream precipitate here, and yellow precipitate here. And if you notice, the color gets darker as it goes. For sulfate, sulfide, nitrate, there's a few other tests. Like for instance, sulfate, you would use barium nitrate, form white precipitate. All right, sulfide, you will use acid, and then you need to bubble through, and then potassium permanganate, and then you will see it turn colorless. Okay, and then nitrate is where you do the aluminum foil test. I'm sure most of you would have heard that before. You put the sodium hydroxide, you add aluminum foil, you heat it up, blah blah blah. Okay, so this is your anion test. Then you have tests for gases. And these are your 6 gases that you need to know for qualitative analysis as well. Carbon dioxide, oxygen, hydrogen, ammonia, sulfur dioxide, and chlorine gas. Those 6 gases. And finally, we have flame test. All right, where you take this compound, you burn it, and you will see the color of the test. Now, you see I put a line here. For you guys trying to prepare yourself for IGCSE, you only need to know these 4. Potassium, sodium, lithium, and copper. Okay, potassium is lilac, sodium is yellow, lilac is red, copper is bluish green. Guess what? Your juniors are going to have to study 2 more cation tests for flame tests. So IGCSE has decided to add calcium and barium. So for next year onwards, they're going to have to add more. You guys were lucky. Woohoo! So you only have 4. Next year onwards, it's going to be 6, guys. So enjoy this moment. All right. So this is generally what you need to know to answer question number 3, which is to identify the unknown substance. Today, I'm going to go through with you this flow chart and hopefully help you master this flow chart so that you can, the moment they tell you all the different precipitates, you'll be able to figure out what they are. All right? Okay, let's go. Flow chart. Okay, so now, when you want to test for cation, there are 2 ways of testing it. You can either add sodium hydroxide or ammonium hydroxide. Okay, so how does this go? So let's just say in a little beaker, test tube, not beaker, you have that unknown solution inside. Okay, so step number 1, you will drip maybe 2 or 3 drops of sodium hydroxide. First question you ask, got precipitate? Was there any precipitate? If the answer is no, then you can conclude that it's either potassium, sodium, or ammonium. Okay? Now, if there is precipitate, yes, there are precipitates, right? Now you're going to ask the next question. What's the color? So let's look at the color. If you see blue, then it's copper. If you see gray-green, then it is iron 2. If you see it as reddish brown, looks like rust, okay? Because rust is iron 3. That's why it looks like rust, this one. Okay, then you know it's iron 3. If it's gray-green again, oops, why I got 2 gray-green? Oh, don't worry. This is where it's different, all right? So you will see gray-green precipitate. Now, again, remember, you will start with few drops. After that, you must add in excess. What does it mean in excess? It means you must drop a lot more. Maybe now 10 drops, let's just say. When you drop in excess, you will notice this. The copper, iron, and iron 2 and iron 3, it will remain insoluble. Nothing will happen. You will just see it forming more precipitate, and the precipitate just stays that way. So no changes, or insoluble in excess. However, if it's chromium, you will notice that the gray-green precipitate starts dissolving to form a green solution. So that's how you know it is soluble in excess. Okay, so once the colored one is done, once you've already answered those questions, next we move on to, now no color, great. So now obviously if it's no color, it's white precipitate. So now, white precipitate. You add more sodium hydroxide, which is in excess. Then you ask another question. Was it soluble? If it's not soluble in excess, straight away, okay, calcium. Yes, it is soluble in excess, meaning what it means by soluble, right? That white precipitate disappears after a while. To form a colorless solution, that means is zinc and aluminum. All right? So, how do I remember which ones are soluble in excess and which ones are not? So first things first, let's do a quick recap about this. If it's no precipitate, it's potassium, sodium, ammonium. Done. Color, these are the 4 with color. All right, which is copper, iron 2, iron 3, and chromium 3. And then white precipitate, it's zinc, aluminum, and calcium. Okay, great. Now how do I know Which ones are soluble in excess in sodium? It's like this. Very handsome, Zachary. Zachary. Why I say Zachary? Because this C, I don't want you to be confused with copper or calcium. This C here is chromium. So handsome, Zachary. Is there any Zachary in this group? Right now? Yes, I'm calling you handsome. All right. So this Zach here, this is zinc, this is aluminum, and this is chromium, and they are soluble in excess. All right, white precipitate, then in excess they turn soluble to form a colorless solution. And this C, how do you remember? Remember Zachary, so Z, and then there's an R here, right? So this is chromium, and chromium is also excess. All the others insoluble. All right, so this is for your, see, this was one of my lame jokes. But if my lame joke help you lah, okay? Okay, so now that is for sodium hydroxide. Now let's move on, because if you notice this, how to tell these two apart? Both also form white precipitate. Both also soluble in excess. Then how do I know which is zinc and which is aluminum? Don't worry, that's where we have another test, which is sodium hydroxide solution. Sorry, not sodium. No, not sodium. Ammonium hydroxide, NH4OH. Okay, so this is your second test. Again, same thing. Let's add a little bit. And you check. Okay, co-precipitate or not? No precipitate. That means it's either potassium, sodium, ammonium, or calcium. Now, with calcium, just be a bit careful. Very rarely they will say this, but generally calcium you cannot see precipitate, but if at all you will see very slight, like it's like very faint, like you will see like little specks of white substance floating. All right, but it's so faint that we can just consider it as no precipitate. Okay, so these are for ammonium. Okay, ammonium hydroxide. Next question you ask, got color? Got. Okay, so if you see blue and the blue dissolves, sorry guys, this is dark blue. I don't know if you can see it. If the blue, so if you put a little bit, like few drops, you will see blue precipitate. And if you add in excess, you will notice that the blue precipitate will start dissolving to form a very dark blue solution. Actually, the solution of the color of the solution is the blue that I'm using in this. Literally this color, blue color, dark blue solution. All right. Then if it's iron 2 and iron 3, it's exactly the same like sodium hydroxide. Form gray-green and reddish-brown, and it's insoluble in excess. Now, when it comes to chromium, chromium is also going to form gray-green, and this time chromium is insoluble in excess. But if you let it stand for a while, you will find like there's violet solution forming. But for IGCSE, very rarely they ask you this question. Okay, you will find a violet solution forming. Then you will continue on. Okay, so color done. So now what happens with the ones with white precipitate? You add in excess again. And then you ask the question, soluble? Now that if the answer is no, if the white precipitate doesn't dissolve in excess, means it is insoluble in excess, therefore it is aluminum. If it's soluble, yes, then it is zinc. So that's how you differentiate between these two. If these two, all right? Here in ammonium, aluminum is insoluble in excess. Well, zinc is soluble in excess in both. Okay, now how do I remember now? Okay, now another one of my lame jokes. Are you ready? Why I say because ammonia ammonia. So cute zombie. Okay, I'm going to put zombie, okay, so that you will remember. So cute, Cu, copper. Ammonia. So you will remember. Cute zombie. So ammonia. Cute is copper. Zombie is zinc. So in ammonia, zinc and copper is soluble in excess. The rest of them, they either don't form precipitate at all or it is insoluble in excess. So I hope now that your ears and your eyes have zipped with my lame jokes. Let's continue and now try to answer questions because now we already know the trick, right? So let's move on. Now is my other tip. It's for tip number, I don't know how many already. But whenever you get this question, your number one tip for this kind of question is underline and go step by step. Always underline the keywords. First keyword, iron sulfate. All right, so Z, solid Z is iron 2 sulfate. Great. Next one, complete the expected observations. Solid Z dissolved in water to produce solution Z. Solid Z was split into 3 equal portions in 3 boiling tubes. Okay, aqueous ammonia was added drop-wise. So this is what we mean, like drop-wise means like a few drops, then in excess to the first portion of solution Z. Now, we already know what solution Z is. Solution Z is iron 2. And we have also sulfate. Now, when we see aqueous ammonia, this is a cation test. Okay, so what happens when you use ammonia into iron 2? We can scroll back up. This is ammonia. What happens? Anyone want to quickly tell me what happens when we add ammonia solution into iron 2? What do we get? As you can see, we will get gray-green precipitate. So guys, the moment you write the word gray-green, gray-green precipitate, guess what? You already get 1 mark. Okay? Second mark, they said then in excess. What happens in excess? Now, if you remember R zombie, you don't see F in there. Means they are insoluble in excess. So then you can just say insoluble in excess. Bam, 2 marks, done. All right, all with the help of a flowchart, you have already put 2 marks into your pocket. Let's continue. Next one, about 2 cubic centimeter of dilute hydrochloric acid was added to the second portion. Now, this one is a little bit more challenging, but if you know acid and salt, you are not going to see anything. Because if you notice, I didn't say anything about acid and in salt. I didn't put any kind of test here with acid. All right. So in this case, you will say no change. That's it. No change. All right. Then moving on. Again, they said the solution from E was warmed and a piece of filter paper soaked in acidified aqueous potassium manganate was held at the mouth of the boiling tube. Again, guys, if you notice, right, this hydrochloric acid using potassium permanganate is for something called, or the anion called sulfite. And if you look at the question, this is sulfate. So if you're doing that test, are you going to expect to see any changes? Will you? Because this is sulfate, but these 2 tests here are for sulfite. So if it's not that anion that's present, you are not going to see any changes. So no change again. Okay, now followed by this one, dilute nitric acid into aqueous barium nitrate. Now, this is the test for sulfate ions. If you notice, there is a sulfate ion inside this compound that we are trying to test. So what you will form here is a white precipitate. Bam, 1 mark. All right, so this is practically how, and again, it will not run from that ion list. at all. It's not going to run from there. So if you know this flow chart plus your anion table for all the anions that I told you earlier, we are good. I mean, of course, I would love to go through the anion test and the table with you today, but with time, it's going to be difficult. But you know when I will be covering all of those if you join us. I feel like I keep telling you, but yes, you have to join us because I will definitely share with a lot more tips and tricks, both. All right, because I had to teach myself, so I will share with you. Okay. All right, moving on. Let's quickly go. Okay, now to those of you, let's just say you don't end up doing paper 6, and then you're thinking, why is she talking about this? I'm not doing paper 6. But guys, listen, this question does not just come out in paper 6. It also comes out in paper 2, paper 1, paper 3, paper 4. It comes out there as well. So if you think you're not doing paper 6, it will still be there. Okay, and again, the flowchart will be the master of it all. You will be able to answer the question with the flowchart. All right. So again, like I said, always underline keywords. So let's see. It says here a student is given a white insoluble solid to analyze. He adds hydrochloric acid and observes bubbles, colorless. All right. Then he added a small amount of aqueous ammonia to the solid acid mixture, and he observed white precipitate being formed, and the white precipitate dissolved in excess. In excess. Ah, cute zombie. So you already know if it's dissolved in excess in ammonia, it can only be zinc or copper. Then done. Finish. Gone. Okay, move on. And remember, paper 2, you have about 45 minutes to paper 1 and paper 2, you have about 45 minutes to answer. So you have only 1.2 minutes. You finish this in like 10 seconds, you can move on already. Okay, next one. A solution containing an unknown substance was analyzed. Unknown substance. On the addition of acidified silver nitrate. Now, the moment you see the word silver nitrate, straight away you already know this is a halide test. Now, how many halides do you have? You have got chloride, bromide, and iodide. Okay, next one. It formed yellow precipitate. Now, yellow precipitate is the darkest color that it can form. Darkest color, this one. All right, because remember I told you just now, it goes from white, cream, and yellow. All right, so it goes darkest. So the moment you see yellow, yellow is the darkest, must be the most extreme one. Or if you look at your periodic table, write the one at the bottom, lower. Okay, so iodide. Elimination method. Another very important thing in paper 2 and paper 1 and paper 2, eliminate the ones that you know it's definitely not. Next one, flame test, lilac. Now, when you see lilac, immediately you know it is potassium. All right, so the answer is potassium iodide. Okay, guys, so if I, like, again, you know a few basic things, you will be able to answer all of this. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. Okay, a student placed a small volume of an unknown solution into 2 separate test tubes, labeled 1 and 2. He added few drops of aqueous sodium hydroxide to each test tube and observed green precipitate. Now you already know, if it's green precipitate, you got 2 options. Just now we just did. It's either iron 2, all right, or chromium 3. The precipitate dissolve. Straight away you already know. Dissolve, remember, Zachary, right? Zachary, soluble. All right. So from here itself, we already know. So the precipitate dissolve on the addition of excess sodium hydroxide in test tube 1. So we already know test tube 1. Done. That's it. That's all. So if you know the flow chart, you know my lame jokes like Zachary and zombie, or cute zombie, you will be able to answer most of this question. All right, because it's generally whether it dissolves in excess or it's insoluble in excess. It's just between those two things, and the color, obviously. Okay. Okay, last one before we move on to other things because I'm running out of time. Okay, next one. A solution of an unknown salt is tested by adding aqueous sodium hydroxide, a blue precipitate. Now, there's only one with blue precipitate, and most of you already know that. If it's blue precipitate, you only have copper. Okay, next one. The mixture is then warmed with aluminum foil. Now, the moment you see aluminum foil, straight away you should know that it is nitrate. And then, of course, not this, because I didn't say anything. Not this, not this. Okay, so I mean, obviously, ammonium nitrate and ammonium sulfate was definitely out. Now we have to know between whether it's nitrate or sulfate. The moment you see aluminum foil, it is nitrate. That is the test for nitrate. Nothing else but nitrate. Okay? And guys, this is qualitative analysis. Now, just like you or some of you, because maybe some of you enjoy this topic, but I was one of those people that I found it so difficult, especially the first time I had to relearn all of this. I was like, oh my God, what was so many things, you know. But when you put a little bit of tips and tricks here to help you, you will get this. Okay, guys, so just give it some time. And the other thing that which I should have told you way earlier. Now, the other thing is every time you learn something new, if you close your book and just move on and never revisit what you just learned for that particular day, you are going to forget. I am the true example of it. When I first started teaching, let's just say I have 3 classes. My first class, I'll be like a nervous wreck because I'm like, oh my God, am I teaching the right thing? The second class, when I repeat, because I'm now reliving and revising, rethinking what I've just learned or just taught, I'll be much better. By the time I reach my 3rd class, I am very confident, right? Like I just know what I'm going to do. And that's only because I kept revisiting and repeating. Same thing for you guys. When you learn something new, always revisit within the next 2 to 3 days. That's my next big tip, which not just for chemistry. This is the next tip that you can do for any subject. All right, for every subject, actually. Always revisit within the next 2 to 3 days to quickly jog your memory about what you have learned. All right, don't keep it till 1 week later or your next class. Then you're going to tend to forget what you've already learned. So, like for instance, today, don't worry if you want to take a shot of that flow chart later. I will give you some time to do that. Quickly go through the flow chart. Try to remember how I made you remember it. Okay? All right. So again, when it comes to qualitative analysis, we have got cation test, which I just went through. So this is the flow chart, which it should be mastered in your head already. Anion test, you have got 6 anions to know. You have got carbonate, halides, sulfate, sulfite, and nitrate. Okay? And then test for gases, you have 6 gases as well. Carbon dioxide, oxygen, sulfur dioxide, hydrogen, carbon dioxide, and ammonia. All right, ammonia is the stinky one, produces a pungent smell. And for flame test, you have got potassium, sodium, lithium, and copper. All right, so you need to know these 4 flame tests. They won't ask you anything but besides this. So guys, if you notice, this is so doable. And if you can get them, then you have 9 marks in your pocket. That's already 10%. I mean, no, that's more than that, 20% in your pocket already. Okay? Now, let's move on to the second thing, which is lab report. This is generally the 4th question in paper 6. All right? Where they will ask you to plan an investigation. All right, they will ask you to find the percentage. I mean, this question practically asks you to find percentage, but you can get any kind of question. They will ask you to either carry out neutralization or prepare salt or listen, no matter what kind of question it is, if it's a lab report question, are you ready for tip number, I don't know, but are you ready for the next one? If it's a lab report question, for question number 4, always follow this. give out all the constant variables. So that means what are the things that you're keeping the same in the experiment? All right, obviously, for the fact that you want it to be a fair test. So always give the constant variable. Number 2, as you can already see here, it says you have been given laboratory apparatus. You write out all the apparatus that you're using. If you're drawing, draw, but never ever forget to label your apparatus or your setup. Make sure you are labeling them. It's very important. All right. Number 3, procedure. So let them know step by step what are you doing in that experiment. All right. Honestly, in chemistry, they don't expect you to be so detailed, but I always tell my students do this. Imagine the person marking your paper has got no idea about what you're talking about. I mean, they don't know about the subject. So you need to give as much detail as you can. It's no harm. Of course, if you're running out of time, then you want to get through it as quickly as possible. But if you do have the time, give as much detail as you can. All right. And number 4, your results. You explain what results you would have found. All right. So, and then generally you also will be repeating and comparing. Now, if you follow this, 6 marks. Again, done. You have got your 6 marks. Proof? I will show you the proof right now. All right, this is the marking scheme that was in for this particular question for the year. This was last year, actually, from last year's paper. Okay, now, if you notice here, it says brass is a mixture of 2 metals, copper and zinc. Copper does not react with dilute sulfuric acid. Zinc reacts with hot sulfuric acid to form soluble zinc sulfate. Plan an investigation to find the percentage by mass. Look, the question sounds, wow. Plan the investigation by mass, sample of brass, with all kinds of crazy things. But guys, really, you don't have to. Really, what the question is telling you is you have a mixture of alloy, which is zinc and copper mixed. They are telling you now that they want you to find out in this what is the percentage of zinc here. All right, and then they even gave you enough information. They even told you an information here. They already said that copper does not react with acid, but zinc does. So all you need to do, number 1, is to weigh. This is the procedure. Okay, weigh. So all this is your procedure. All right, and also a few more things. You have your procedure. They give you your apparatus. In this case, they didn't even write a filter lah. Okay, it's your apparatus. Okay, and then your results here. Repeat and compare. Okay, guys. So it comes out always the same thing. So first they said you weigh the mass, then you add the acid. Okay, so in the moment you add acid into this, you will realize something. The copper won't react, but all the zinc will react. The copper will remain inside. When this becomes the zinc sulfate solution, because copper doesn't react, copper will be here. Then you filter. Now, filter is practically the apparatus, right? You need to tell them what are a few things that you need. Sometimes you don't even have to, guys. This is literally the key words that you're talking about. Okay? Filter. Of course, because copper didn't dissolve, so copper will be here. And now the substance that remains up there, can anyone tell me? I'll get back to you there. The substance that doesn't pass through the filter paper and substance that passes through the filter paper. Tell me what the name is. You have got 10 seconds to hit your answers out. All right, then after that, we are just going to wash and dry. Okay, and then we will calculate the percentage. All you have to do is take the mass of this, right? And you calculate it, and that is it. If you notice, this is practically same. It always goes through constant variable. All right, apparatus. If you're drawing, always label it. You give the procedure step by step, and you compare your results. So in this case, you're comparing the mass at the start and the mass at the end and getting times that by 100. That's it. Okay? Now let's try another one. Next one here says we have got, I'm just going to move on to the next one. Okay? We have many window cleaning products that contain aqueous ammonia. Aqueous ammonia is an alkali that reacts with dilute acids. They want you to plan an investigation. Oh, wait, coming back. Well done, guys. Yes, you are right. If you notice, residue was already here. Yes, you are right. This is residue and this is filtrate. Okay, well done. All right, moving on. So now they say plan an investigation to find which two window cleaning products contains the most concentrated aqueous ammonia. When you want to find this, you are obviously going to have, the moment you see like you want to find which one is more concentrated, means you're going to generally, the answer will be to do titration so that you can see how much of acid was needed to neutralize that base or alkali. All right. Then the question says the method you will use and then how your results will be used to determine which window. So if you notice, the question has already given you the tips. Method means the procedure that you're going to be using. All right. And then they also told you to calculate your results. So to practically explain your results. So let's look. Again, I told you. So we're going to start with all the constant variables. Equal volumes of each cleaner. That is a constant variable to keep it a fair test. Number two, all the apparatus that you need. All right, you need a burette, a measuring cylinder, and all that stuff. That's for titration. Okay, then you are also, guys, remember, you have to give name when it comes to carrying out, you're doing a lab report, right? So you got to be more specific. You must name all your substances. If you're using sulfuric acid, then name that acid, sulfuric acid. If you're using hydrochloric acid, then you got to name it hydrochloric acid. Okay, so you got to go make sure you are really detailed when it comes to that part, because remember, you are trying to explain to someone how to do this experiment. So when they're reading your answer, they should know, okay, so I need to add this and this with this amount to get this result. So that's how you keep in mind and you answer like that. Okay, then you add hydrochloric acid from the burette. You will also get mark. Okay, this is how your results part. This whole thing here is your results. How do you know that it's already reached neutralization point? It's until your indicator changes color. Okay, now talking about indicator, guys, remember there are a few indicators that you need to know. But however, when you're doing titration, never use universal indicator. Okay, so when they said named indicator here, please do not use universal indicator. Look, yes, universal indicator, you can tell where it's neutral. However, it is not the most accurate one because it's the indicator is green in color. It's a spectrum of color. So which green are you exactly looking for? It's very hard to tell. You know what? In fact, this question came out one of the years. They said, why shouldn't universal indicator be used? Okay, so these are few things to keep in mind, or few little things that you should know, because all of you probably know what an indicator is, but sometimes you might accidentally use universal indicator, wasted. All right, because universal indicator is not really accepted because of how the spectrum is. So you can use indicators like thymethylene, which is a new addition to those of you that don't know yet. Thymethylene, spelling of thymethylene. You can also use phenolphthalein. Okay, guys, again, I will be teaching all of these things during the 12-week program and also giving you all other tips and tricks I do have up my sleeve for these indicators. So, yeah, if you want to know more, you can always come. Unfortunately, with 1.5 hours, there's only so much I can cover. So I apologize that I cannot be sharing everything. I would love to, okay? And then the other common one to use for titration is methyl orange. So if ever you're talking about titration and you need to put an indicator, you can choose between these three. All right, so just remember, no universal indicator. Okay, all right, and then from there you just add it until your color changes, and then you record how much of volume of acid was needed, and whichever. So this is you practically explaining your result. So this is the comparing results part. Okay, so explaining results. So whichever that required the largest amount of acid will be known as the most concentrated. So this is you explaining the results. That's it. So you see, it just comes down to the same four things. Constant variable, apparatus, what are the apparatus that you're going to use? And usually the question always tells you, see, common laboratory apparatus. All right. And then what else? So yeah, constant variables, apparatus, procedure. All right. Again, procedure, make sure it is you for as detailed as you can give it. Okay. And then finally, whatever results that you're going to get in comparing your results. All right. Moving on. This is generally question number 1, which is apparatus. All right. Now, it's not just apparatus, it's also experimental techniques. What do I mean by that? So experimental techniques will be like, for instance, they will do something in the experiment and then they will say like, oh, what was wrong in that experiment? What is the name of this apparatus? So before we start naming, so I'm going to give you guys, there's these two apparatus here. You have this apparatus and this apparatus. I would like for you to quickly name them. While you're typing out your answers there, which I know most of you probably already know what the answers are, but while you're typing out those answers, let me quickly go through a few very common apparatus that generally you will see come out in paper 6. All right. So you will have this is known as a pipette. Okay. Then you will have this one, which is known as a round bottom flask, which is the one used to heat up. Then this one, tripod stand. This one, a spatula. Okay. Then what else do we have generally? Of course, we have this one. Okay, which is a conical flask. So these are the very common apparatus that you will see coming up that they will ask you to name. Oh, wait, got one more. This is a stirring rod. Now, guys, please know the difference. Spatula is not to stir. Okay, spatula is to transfer solid substance, a small amount. Stirring rod or glass rod is the one used to stir. Okay, so just know the difference. So these are the very common apparatus that you will see appearing during this question number 1 or question number 2. All right, now, yes, I see right, well done, people. Yes, this is thermometer. Good. And this is known as a Liebig condenser. But if you guys just say the word condenser, that is also great. Condenser is also accepted. If you just say the word condenser, so Liebig, if you don't say Liebig, just say condenser, great. All right. So now let's move on to the question. They said here, complete the boxes. So this is trying to show you what does it mean by experimental apparatus questions. You will notice it's generally the same thing. Label the apparatus, label a certain different things, okay, and then name the experiment that's happening, generally separating technique or heating up, combustion, those kind of things. What is wrong and what precautions can you take? Now, generally in chemistry, precautions are wearing lab goggles, wearing gloves, wearing lab coat, tying your hair. Those are the general precautions, especially when you're heating up substances or when fire is involved. Okay? Okay, let's move on. So complete the boxes to identify. Done. Great job. Label the arrows. So these are the arrows they are talking about. Okay, so this one, generally, okay, for this particular year, they didn't even care whether you said it. They just allowed you to answer things like this. If you just say water, they accept it. Water, they accept it. But the better way is water in. The water goes in from the bottom and goes out from the top. All right, so water in, water out. Done. Next one. What is the separation process? Now, if you see a Liebig condenser, straight away you know it's distillation. But there are two kinds of distillation. If you notice here, there are fractionating column here. So when you see a fractionating column, means it is a fractional distillation. All right. Again, I will be going through one of those classes. I will be going through all the very common separating process. Okay, so next one. Which liquid is first to be collected? So going up back here, how do we know which liquid will be first to be collected? It will be the one with the lowest boiling point, because lower boiling point can turn into gas first. So here you will say ethanol. Next one, how will the student know all of this liquid has been collected? Is when the temperature starts rising again. Because as ethanol is being evaporated and turning into gas, the temperature will remain at 78 degrees Celsius. It will not increase. But the moment you see the temperature going up, straight away you turn off, because that means that all the ethanol has already been evaporated. That's why it is now going above that boiling point. Okay? All right. And then this is another, okay, so like I told you earlier, so that's generally what kind of questions you can tend to see, naming the apparatus and asking simple questions. Oh, you see 2 marks here, by the way. The 2 marks is 1 mark for saying fractional and 1 mark from saying distillation. I know they're very kind and giving. They're like Santa Claus. They just like to give. Okay, so simple answers like this is enough. 2 marks, 2 words. That's very, very good, right? I'm sure all of you would like to get 2 marks for 2 words. Like one word costs so much, right? And it's easy. Okay, good. Now let's move on. Next one, if you notice, again, this experimental question. See, literally, they've already given you the setup. Straight away, they just want you to tell, hey, what's the error in this question? Okay, so there are 2 errors. Now again, this again comes up to, this is also a separation technique question. So if you notice, there's a bit of a trend. Okay, when it comes to lab affair, or the first question, generally it's a very famous question is separating technique, or some kind of burning, or you will see bubbling, or a reaction where there will be a lot of observations and you can answer them. Okay, so now 2 errors for this one. I think most of you can already figure out what the 2 errors are by looking at the diagram. Number 1, oh wait, sorry, is this one. And this is my first hint for you. I would like for you to figure out what is the error, something from here. And number 2 is something from here. What is wrong here? You have to let me know. All right, so these are the kinds of questions that they like asking. They will give you something with a problem and they ask you to solve the problem or identify the problem. All right, yes. So first one is the fact that they drew it with ink. You're not supposed to draw baseline with ink. You're supposed to draw baseline with pencil. Ink can smear. If they ask you why shouldn't you be drawing with ink, ink can smear. Now again, this question has come up many times. Why can't you draw with ink? What happens when you draw with ink? Why are we using pencil? The word is smear, keyword. Okay, so you cannot draw with ink because it smears. Number 2 is this part. All right, the baseline with the samples shouldn't be inside the solvent, because if it's inside the solvent, then it is going to dissolve into the solvent. All right, instead of traveling up the paper, it's going to dissolve into the solvent, which is not what we want. Okay, so that is the other one. The baseline must be above the solvent, or the water in this case, because we named it as water. All right, okay, and I am done with the third part. Now we have the fourth and final part. I think we're just on time. Yes. Okay, so let's quickly go through fourth part. Now guys, when it comes to graph, you will be amazed at how easy it is to score in this graph kind of questions. Now this question, you're also looking, for instance, they ask you to read this table. This table itself, 3 marks. Sometimes they can give the same kind of table twice or even 3 times. So you're looking at 3, sometimes 3, 2, 1. That's already what? 6 marks. Just reading. And I'm very sure all of you are well versed from reading. I know in chemistry we don't really read too much, but I know in physics you do, right? Take a lot of measurements. So by then you should already know how to take the measurement. Now, how do we take measurement? Always take from the middle. I know there is a line touching up here, right? Don't take from there. The line that you should be taking from is the middle line. So whatever that is, so it's here. So that will be, what will it be? 10.2. Yes, 10.2. Okay, and then the initial reading is 0. Now, this is okay. Another common mistake. You know what? Sometimes instead of just giving tips, I should also tell you how to avoid common mistakes. This mistake is a very common mistake because you see 0 here, so you will write initial reading 0. You will lose a mark already. You will lose a mark. Why? But it is 0. Why am I losing a mark? Because we are using burette. Burette, the accuracy of measurement is closest to 0.1 cubic centimeter or 0.1 milliliter. All right. So when it comes to this, you should write 0.0. All right. And then 10.2. And finally, you take volume. How do you find out? You always take final minus initial, then you'll get 10.2. All right, done. That's about 3 marks. Easy. 1, 1, 1. Okay, now what happens to the graph? Graph, you're looking at 3 to 4 marks again. Again, super easy to get it. Because you know why? When I say graph, there are only 2 kinds of graph in chemistry. Paper 6. 2 kinds. Number 1, straight line. That's it. To do straight line, you need a ruler. Okay? Number 2, smooth line. Freehand. This one is freehand. And we are not joining the dots or putting the dots. You know, back then we used to join the dots to draw a figure. Like last time there used to be a book. We are not doing that. We are going to do a freehand, and we're just going to slightly have a really smooth graph. Okay? That's the 2 graphs. That's it. 2 graphs. Now, when we come to straight line, if you cannot pass through every single dot or every single plot, it is okay. You get the, as the word says here, best fit. Best fit means you do not have to go through every single plot. As long as you are close to the plot and you touch most of the plots, enough. Okay, if you need to miss one because it's slightly above or slightly below, that is okay. You do not have to meet every single one. And the question here already said smooth curve. Okay, therefore no ruler already. Straight away you see smooth curve, take your ruler, throw away. I mean, no, not throw away, put it aside. Okay, just see the plot and try to keep draw a smooth line as you can. Now another trick, I know like for me, I also have like a very unsteady hand, right? So usually my hands will be like trembling a little bit. Trick here is rest your palm on the table. Hold your pencil like that, rest it on the table, and you just curve it like that. Okay, so like you rest it like that and just like that. Okay, so oh great. While I did that, I also turned it off. Okay, so because sorry, I'm on my iPad, so it's very sensitive, right? So first I couldn't fill it up, but that's my next trick for you. So that you don't have the jagged lines, that's how you do it. You rest your palm on the table and just smoothly turn. So you don't like lift up and try to turn. That's my other trick. So to those of you that feel like I cannot draw smooth line, my hands are shaking, can see all the lines, you can use that trick. Okay? All right. So again, two kinds of graph. If they say straight line, use a ruler and try to fit as many as you can. You do not need to fit everything. If a smooth line, no ruler, free hand, rest it on the table and draw to give you that support. Okay? All right. Moving on. How do we get 4 marks? No, not even 4 marks. This question is 5 marks. Okay? Quick, mark number 1, 2 marks for plotting all the points correctly. Now, generally in IGCSE, I know in physics, usually you have to plot and label the axis and all that stuff. In chemistry, generally they give it to you. They've already given you the plot, the x-axis and the y-axis. You just need to plot. If they don't, please make sure that your axis, the number, they make sense. They're in proper units like 1 to 10 or 1 to 2, up to you. Like for instance, this is 1 to 10. Okay. Number 2, label your x-axis and y-axis. See, for instance, they've labeled here. Your y-axis is mass of lead to iodide. Make sure you label it. Okay. Plot. Correct plots. 2 marks for correct plotting. Okay. Next thing, if you are to draw 2 different graphs in one, let's just say, right, you have one here, and let's just say you have another one that, like let's just say if it's a rate of reaction kind of question, and you need to draw another one. Let's just say it's like that, something like that. Please make sure you label your graph. Let's just say this will be experiment 1. You label experiment 1. Then experiment 2, label experiment 2. Make sure you are labeling them. It is very important to label your graph. Okay? Please also always connect it to from here. Okay? Next one is, okay, another one is extrapolation. Okay, I don't know if any one of you know. If this is the term, and most of you probably already know what it is, but I don't know if you know the actual term of it. The term is called extrapolation. It's where you will use your graph to decide on, like for instance, they will say, oh, okay, so now you already know for 10, it produced 1 point something here, right? So then they ask you, all right, at 15 seconds, how much did they give? Or at 20, how much did they produce? So then you must actually show it on the graph clearly like this. Exactly, you must show it on the graph clearly like that. All right, so you must, let me use a different color. You must show on the graph clearly how to get that. This itself will give you 1 mark. Then you come up with the answer. Now, the answer usually do not need to be exact. They will give you a range because you are doing it on your own, right? Sometimes there are some little tiny errors, like, maybe the way you counted or the way you drew your line, because at the end of the day, it's best fit. So your line must be different, might be different from another person's line. So when they ask you for answers like this, they usually give you a range. Generally, the range depends on what kind of question that is. It will be enough where your answer will fit within that range. Okay, so no matter how much you, like maybe if you miss a dot and things like that, it will fall between the range. So that's the other thing. Again, label. Well, I cannot see. Wait. label it. Okay, all right. So as you can see here, this is how the marks came, like 5 marks, 2 marks for plotting correctly, ruler drawn straight line through the first 4 points. Ah, there you go, straight lines. The question already said the word straight line. Okay, and then ruler drawn straight line through the last 3 points, and straight lines must have extended so that they meet across. Okay, and that's how you get your 5 marks. Easy peasy. Like really, that's it. Okay, so don't get afraid when you see graph questions, people. Really, it's just that easy. As long as you plot correctly, just spend some time plotting it correctly and see what kind of graph do they want. Do they want straight line? Do they want curved line? Okay, or best smooth line. Okay, and that is all I have for today. And wow, my timing. Okay, so now what did we do today? And how did we do today? Recap of what I've just explained. Question number 1 is always about lab apparatus or experimental techniques. So they are going to ask you about the techniques. They are going to ask you about everything that you do in a lab, right? Like for instance, how do you use a certain apparatus? How do you take precautions? Label the apparatus? Where do you apply the heat? These are the common questions for question number 1. Question number 2 is generally an experiment. The range of experiments you're looking at, maybe titration, rates of reaction, all right, so that you can plot a graph. Anything that you can get a proper results to plot a graph. Then then the second part will be in a graph will be to obviously get the reading of your apparatus. So it's always burette. So remember, people, if it's burette, it is close to 0.1 ml. So your answer or your reading must be to 1 decimal place. Do not forget. Check that. If it's burette, it's 1 decimal place. If it's measuring cylinder, then you don't have to put any. Do not put the decimal place, because measuring cylinder you only measure closest to 1 ml. All right. So that's a very important tip for you there. Okay, because you can lose marks if you don't follow those things. So once that is done, once you've already taken the reading of, sometimes it's thermometer, sometimes it's from burette, sometimes it's measuring cylinder. Once those are done, moving on to drawing the actual graph. If they have already given you the axis, great, just start plotting. If they do not give you the axis, draw the axis, label the axis, okay, then start plotting. Please spend a good amount of time plotting the graph because it is important. All right, because plotting itself gives you 1 to 2 marks. So make sure you are plotting correctly. Then you look at the question. The question will tell you whether it's going to be a straight line or a smooth line. Straight line, put a ruler through all the dots, see which one you can fit the most amount of plots. You draw a line across those lines. It's okay if you don't need every single line, it is fine because you're taking best fit. Smooth line, take a pencil and make sure, remember, graph you can draw with pencil. Try not to use pen for graphs, people. You're risking it. Okay, just use a pencil. Graph, use pencil. Okay, lay your hand. Just do that. Okay, just to stabilize your hand. When you stabilize your hand on the table, you will definitely avoid jagged lines. Okay, and finally, and that's it. And then from there, usually they will ask you from graph. They will ask you more questions about from the graph. They will say, okay, how can you predict at 20 degrees Celsius how much will be dissolved? Or I'm just coming up with random questions. Okay, so that's where you will use the extrapolation line. You will go dotted lines to find out what that thing is, and you can answer that. Again, it's usually a range. So if your answer is not exactly to the dot, usually it's fine. They will give you like a range of maybe 5 or 10, depending, okay, 0.10 or just whole number. And then we have got salt identification. I've already given you our ACE, that's literally ACE king method. Thank God for those flowchart that I managed to understand that. So remember my 2 lame jokes. Na Zachary. Na Zachary means that ZACR is the one that are soluble in excess, and you zombie. Okay, and those are the two that are soluble in ammonia. So that's my flowchart and my biggest tip for you today. And then you have all the other ones, like, which is flame test, anion test, and test for gases. Okay, I could not go through every single one of them today. I apologize. That's the few things. And finally, you have got lab report. Same four method. Constant variables. So you explain all the things you're going to keep same in the experiment. The apparatus. What apparatus you're going to use for your experiment. If you're drawing, label them. Write down the procedure. As much detail as you can give, just give it. And finally, talk about your results and compare your results. Okay? All right. So that's the thing I have for you today. If you would like, you can compare. You don't have to tell me how your experience is for today. Okay? It's really up to you. I know it was a little bit of a rush, but remember, guys, if you are anywhere around, if you are, you still think that you're somewhere around here, just remember, it is a work in progress. Okay? We have 3 months more for you to drill, to get as much information as you can get in, and to work our way up here. So do not be demotivated. I am one person that you can take as an example. I was struggling. I truly struggled with chemistry. And today, I can confidently say that I have been doing okay. Well, from my experience and from feedback from students, they understand what I'm teaching, and I've been getting some good grades from IGCSE. So I promise you, it is all the way working up here. I've had students who have been here, and now they are in senior, like in college, scoring straight stars for A levels and things like that. Okay, so that's it. Now, just quick preview of what's about to happen for my IGCSE intensive class in case you decide to join. Now, number one, I'll be linking topics and concepts. Now, if you notice there are 17 over units, I'll be linking them all together. As many as I can, not all together, but as many as I can, to bridge the gap between what you know and what the exam wants. I'll also be sharing some helpful tips, and we'll be covering a variety of popular topics. Okay? And that's it, guys, from me. Thank you so much for coming. I really hope you get something. Thank you for spending your Sunday with me. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, guys, this is first time teacher Rina is doing this webinar. So good job. Okay.
Thank
Did
you.
you realize there's this student from Kia Zane? She, I think, gave 10. Yeah, it's
And
10.
also another thing, guys, I need to point out also, I disagree with teacher Rina on something where she said, oh, she don't want you all to tell her how she did. I think you guys should let her know how she did.
Yeah, please let her know.
She
Please
did a
let her know. Okay.
tremendously awesome job. I have to give like 2 thumbs
Thank
way
you.
up.
Yeah.
So guys,
Yeah.
yes, although teacher Rina may be shy to admit it, but I hope you guys can let her know. Yeah, guys, please let her know how she did, so at least she will know that she will feel more confident with what she's doing, because she's really doing a really tremendous job. Okay, so please let her know. Okay, guys. See, thank you so much.
Okay. So yeah, guys, the thing is, because you know, when we say this is a safe space for everyone, that includes the teachers. Okay, because I mean, all the teachers actually really, they are, I mean, teacher Rina, actually, she told me she was freaking nervous. Okay, that applies to me, because I still remember my heart pumps like, oh, like crazy, you know.
Oh,
Yeah,
and I know
definitely.
what you're saying, like, cannot see us. Oh my God. But anyway, I really hope that all of them gain
Yes, but
something.
teacher Rina, I think what we can do for the kids, right? Can you show the flow chart again? Okay, and just
Can.
hold there for 10
They don't
seconds.
take, take us.
Okay, so everyone, because I know today the biggest take home for chemistry is the flow chart. Now, guys, I think I guarantee you that you will not see it outside. Okay, those students that attended my class and teacher Rina class, right? You all know that these flow charts really help. Is because, right, besides it is our very unique product, it also tells you, right, it also teach you how can you think and how do you answer acronym IGCSE. Okay, so guys, for those that are sitting for IGCSE, you have 3 months time. You have 3 months time to sit for IG, right? This is the flowchart that you will need to have it with you for your paper 2, paper 4, and your paper 6. Okay, so the first thing you write on the exam paper is not your name, not your candidate number. Is this one? Okay.
But
Yes.
don't get into trouble. Make sure they allow you to say, you may begin writing, then only write, okay?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So please take picture now. Okay. And then Teacher Rina, Nuru say this was the best. Okay. Yeah. This is her
Thank
comment.
you.
Okay. This is the best. Yeah. Okay. Fabian, this is the cat ion test. The N ion one actually I have written down in the Facebook chat already. You can go and see. Okay. Now all in all, thank you so much, Teacher Rina. Thank you so much. Okay. You have done.
I don't know how 1.5 hours went by, but it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was just like Teacher Patrick, another one class. I was like, wow, we are going through another 1.5 hours. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, okay, guys, two more things before we end the session. Number one, okay, like what Teacher Rina's recommendation. If your school, okay, are given you a choice to omit the paper 6, please don't do that. Okay, because when you omit paper 6, they will prorate the paper 2 and paper 4, or even paper 1 and paper 3. When I say prorate, meaning initially paper 1 and 2 it's 30%. Is 30% of the total marks, right? It will increase to 37.5%. Okay. And paper 3 and paper 4 initially is 50%, right? Guess what? It will increase to 62.5%. So that means if let's say you touch wood, you have not done very well in paper 4, it will really pull your grades down. Okay. So that's why please consider taking paper 6. Okay, it really increase your chance of getting an A star. So second thing is Teacher Rina mentioned she will cover the popular topics, right? Okay, so one of the most popular topic is organic chem. Okay, for those that attended the previous season of webinar, right? Okay, you know how well we can teach the organic chemistry. Okay, and Fabian just mentioned Miss Rina teach as good as Mr. Brandon.
Thank you, Fabian.
Fabian, you give too much praise. Yeah, Fabian.
Fabian, you really need to be our mascot.
Just say teach better than Teacher Brandon.
You really need to be our mascot.
Fabian actually is from Johor, you know. So yeah, come to Selangor.
No, not Johor. Johor, man.
JB.
Not Fabian.
Yeah. No. Wendy's from
Johor. Sorry, that's Wendy. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry,
Yes.
Fabian.
Okay. So like I've given you like highlights already. We will be covering organic chemistry. I know the students
A lot more.
Yeah, okay, but guys, trust me, when you do what we ask you to do, just like that. Okay?
Just join us for more lame jokes and more fun ways of remembering things. Trust me, we can keep it PG, we can also keep it not PG. And it will I promise it will only help you guys to memorize.
Yeah. Okay.
Guys.
Yeah.
So we guys, need to go, guys. Remember, we need to log off right now because the time limit of Facebook Live. We are going to now enter the part 2 video. Okay, please come back with us. We are having an interview with our students, our ex-students that have joined our our intensive classes before one. We are getting 2 more of them to come in. All right, guys. So please come back with us for the second video. We are going to log off right now. Okay. All right. Thank you, Teacher Rina, for your time.
Thank you for having me.
All right, guys. We hope that you guys really learned a lot from Teacher Rina and also the assistant Teacher Brandon here.
Yeah, thank you, Teacher Brandon, for helping out with the questions.
Fabian, next time please say Teacher Rina better than Teacher Brandon. Okay, don't give Teacher Brandon so much face. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, bye-bye. All right, Teacher Brandon, I need to kick you out first. I end the podcast. See you soon.
Bye.
Okay.